Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody all around the world, and thank you for joining us today for another Left 4 Dead 2 competitive shoutcast. My name is MK. I will be your caster and cameraman for today. I do have a co-caster who may show up a little late. Amethyst may be coming in, he may not be. He just had some issues that popped up, so he's going to be taking care of that. But we're going to have the grand finals of the Oscurity Cup. And it is going to be played on two maps, Dead Before Dawn and Crash Course Rerouted. And ain't nobody happier with a smile on their face than myself, as it was a pleasant surprise to be invited to cast this game and to find out that it was going to be played on one of the maps that I've created. I couldn't ask anything more. So it is an honor and privilege to be here with you guys tonight. Hope everybody will enjoy the match as we wait for some people to return to the game, and we will get it live. So let's remember that we are going to have more than one map played today. So we're going to be seeing this one played first, and it's going to be Dead Before Dawn. It's going to be the total score. We'll get the W from what I was told. Which makes it very exciting for me to cast this match. And actually, I just couldn't think of it. I actually didn't realize it's a center map, so I can set the slots for now, and I can change it later. But for now, we will wait for Desola to return, and we'll get the game live. Again, it is going to be the teams that are playing today. Let's see. Make sure I pronounce this right. It is going to be Babylonia versus Colossus. I said that name wrong for a while. They call it Colossus, but it's Colossus, not Colossalis. So I'll get it right from now on. So it'll be Babylonia versus Colossus. And here we go live. The first round of the tournament match. Probably first of 8 chapters. And it will be Babylonia going first as survivor. Jockey lands. Charge Spit gets one slam too. Jockey and Hunter both land, but after the charger is cleared. And that'll be a good opening attack coming out on to Babylonia. And now Colossus maximize their damage, as the first tank of the game will be in the hands of Father Taying. And right now he has Amur, Mira, and Nat as his teammates. And then for Babylonia, we have Driss, Amur, Rox, which is Driss, and then Mila. He's getting his hatch back into play. Looks like the survivor's going to fight it inside the garage. Pretty standard place for both Crash Course versions. The only thing is there are spawns that could come from down the stairs. They can rocket in from the side. It's a little bit more difficult for the infected to get in there and harder to get the hittables in. But right now, Father Taeyang is just going to stay back, be patient. Looks like he wants to go in through the back doors, taking the back route. Not many teams go this way. So I am happy to see it being utilized. As he'll lose a couple hundred for going up there. And he is in. Gonna try to get that hatch back through that garage door. Oh, it's gonna cost him a lot of age. Oh, he gets it in! This is gonna force the survivors out. And now there's not anything real hittables out here. Charger spawns up. He gets his first punch, and oh, no fall damage though. He is down to 2,700 HP. He gets a rock. The boomer lands. The charger lands. 100 lands. There's one slam. He's gonna throw a rock. Lands on Mila. Then switches over to Zoe. One more onto Zoe. Zoe's down. That's also DB. The DB's open as he gets into one of the smallest hallways ever. And he lands a rock onto Mila. They're getting great value for the end of this tank. They get the pickup though. DB is already down 37%.
Guys, I'm really torn up.
And welcome for everybody that's joining. Again, this is the grand finals of the Oscurity Cup. Try to get a pull out. The smoker gets tongue clear. The tank is just about dead. One more punch will become of it. Oh, he gets a hittable in, but not going to be able to get an in cap from it. And that's a pretty good amount of damage coming out from that tank. And it will cost all the survivors their pills. And I'm pretty sure Amur's going to have to pop very shortly, as he is at 46 HP and bleeding. If they do survive the tank, bonus will be sitting at 292 bonus left. Map has points been reduced. The map is much shorter. There's not much after this. Maybe 3 attacks if they can stay fast. Spitter's up. Hunter is up. Hunter gets shut down. The Spitter's just going to linger up above, and I don't think they're going to even send it in.
I think I really heard something.
All right, Boomer drops in. Gets a 2-boom. See if anybody forgets the Despot's there and jumps over it by mistake. Nope, they are patient. They're not going to fall for it. And now they are out. That's the right sack where they might have a quad for the transition of this choke point.
This is really bad.
Reloading!
Part of the map's been changed quite a bit. A little bit more balanced, a little difficult for the SI to drop in. Giving the survivors a good opportunity. Now the Charger tried to go through the sign, and he's not going to be able to do so. But he will still land. So he'll get a little bit of damage out of it, but not much. As they will keep Amur slow. Amur takes a little bit of friendly fire there. And now they are able to navigate over the choke point, and now it's pretty much just clean sailing from here. They got a car alarm to get by, and then just to get across the bridge into the safe room, and that'll be map 1 over.
Don't shoot that car.
See if we're able to make a play on the car alarm. Looks like they're not going to. They're going to get a pull forward. They just want to get the in-cap on Amur, and they just weren't too quick to retaliate onto it. They do shut down the Boomer. Unfortunately, they set off the car alarm with the Boomer.
Hold on, here they come.
Maybe not actually with the Boomer. Looks like he just accidentally shot the car. So now they're going to have to push forward with Commons trailing from behind as they navigate the bridge. And no pills for Amur, and Amur is black and white. Hunter pre-spawned and suffered a little bit for it. There goes a pull on the Mila. Amur is charged, and it's going to be a death on Amur, I think. They get the kill. And that will exhaust the DB from Babylonia. Only 112 points of bonus, which is all health bonus on Driss. Alright, Driss now threw me off. I thought Roxas was Driss, so I've completely thrown off my game now. Nice rocket boom from around the car, trying to delay the survivors more time to see if they can get this tri-cap in place. They're going to try to end it, and it's going to be a tri-cap. They're going to get wiped out. And there we go, Babylonia not able to make it into the safe room on map 1, accumulating 270 of the 300 distance. And that will be map 1 in.
A zombie chopper pilot? Ugh! You have got to be kidding me. We were almost home free, damn it.
Wait, what happened?
Damn, I had a good feeling about that helicopter too.
And alright, here we go live to the second half of map 1, crash corded, rerouted as we get baited. Alright, here we go. Opening attack will be the tri-cap with Spit. Under Jockey Charger Spitter. The best spawns you can ask for out of safe room for an opening hit. And they are out. Spawns rocket in. The Charger finds a target. Charge Spit lands. No slams. Almost the same attack lands, but no slam goes out from this side. So a little bit better clears coming out from the survivor team. Colossus being the name of the team. Now it's going to be Babylonia's chance to go with their infected. Amur will get the first tank for his team. I don't know if they're playing maps 1 through 5. I don't know. We might see 10 chapters of Left 4 Dead. We might see 8. As the 2-boom does land, and this might be an issue for survivors as the tank now. He's not going to go back for the car. He's just going to make his way in. And now he has a survivor split 3-1. He is in. He gets his first punch onto Zoe, a second punch onto Zoe. Third, 1800 HP. Spawn's coming in. 102 cap lands. Okay, gets clear. Jockey's the only one up. Can he get the other two? No, he cannot. The Smoker's still doing damage. Smoker gets cleared. Jockey is now dead, so the wipe won't happen. But this tank has done an enormous amount of damage.
I really need some help here.
That boom was huge. As now the tank is just kind of lingering around with not much HP. The charger's going to come in, lands a charge. Good job on Lewis, not letting the tank get into position to throw a better rock. When the boomer walks in, oh, that was so close to a big boom. And the tank dies off at the end. So now Tricap with Spit will be coming up after the tank's dead. Almost the same take by both sides as far as bonus that remains. But right now, I would say Babylonia probably a little bit better as far as permanent HP. They have a lot more DB for... I'm getting the teams mixed up. Colossus. They are the one right now who's in a little bit of a better shape bonus-wise, but not as much permanent HP. So they might want to hold the go quick. They only have one more set of pills and a survivor already at 48 HP and bleeding. As we have Smoker, Hunter, Jockey, and the Spitter. Waiting for survivors to transition on the outside of the garage. As the Jockey falls down, gets M2'd killed. He gets bullied. Now it's going to be a Spitter sack. Smoker's going to go in, and the Hunter's going to land. And I didn't see the death order. They might have a Tricap, or they might have 2-2.
Reloading. Watch out.
And they're going to get over the choke point much quicker than Babylonia did. A lot of the commons are from behind. We were trying to set up on the car alarm, might rocket it when they come around the corner. Only have a 2-2, but at least they'll have the charger to accompany the jockey. Interesting spawn location on the charger. I'm trying to go on the other place above the car alarm. Here comes the boomer. Boomer lands a 2-boom. They get the pop. This will slow them down a little bit and further the bleeding. The commons are coming in a little bit slow, but all from the front.
Will you knock it off? Reloading. Oh man, shoot me.
Reloading.
Reloading.
All right, 222 bonus remains. They're at the bridge. This could be the last attack they take, depending on how well it goes. Oh, what a ski coming out from Michelle there. The charger not able to find anything. The free spit gets a ding or two, so they'll get a little bit of damage out of that. I think a Smoker probably just tries to spawn and slow him down. I don't think he even goes in. No, they're just going to wait for one more final hit out of the safe room. Yeah, that's just a spawn to slow down. And it's going to be a Poo-2. No, it's going to be Tricap left. And they're all going to come from the back. They'll get about 6 more points of damage from the last hit. And that means Colossus makes safe room with 212 bonus and take a very small lead. Hey, Amethyst. Welcome. Doing all right, my friend. Hopefully everything's going well for you on your side.
Join it at the moment.
Give me 1 second. As soon as we get in, I can set that. Luckily enough, I have admin, so we don't have to ask anybody, which is nice.
That is nice, actually. You're the powerful one for once, MK.
For
you have all the
once.
power.
Let's see how easy this is. Oh, wait, I can't do it.
Never mind. You failure.
Because I did try.
All you can do in life is try.
Yeah, that's the best I could do. Okay, you're free now, my friend. Come on in here. We saw an exciting first chapter. One team got wiped, one team made safe with a very small bonus. It's only about a 200-some point lead. They just did ready up, though. Opening attack will be Charger, Smoker, Jockey, Spitter. And the Survivors are wasting no time trying to push out and get all the commons aggroed, as every single SI is waiting to drop from above.
Alright, let me see here. I am having technical difficulties on my end.
Oh, what a charging rockets and lands. Gets a slam. The Smoker covers for it. And that's going to be enormous amount of damage onto... Actually, they're changing names on me to Erlin. And now Erlin has to pop pills on the first hit from Safe Room. 14% damage opening hit. Tank at 40%. And the only thing that... 47%, but at least they're able to get inside the building before the next set of spawns were up. And right now, I would say the theme for the game right now, Amethyst, is there's just a lot of damage coming out from the SI due to Crash Course rerouting, having a lot of easy spawns at close quarters. I'm seeing as 100 does land at the top of the stairs. Spit's going to land. Jockey is not going to be able to cover him, and it looks like they're just going to sack this boomer at the end. Oh no, they're going to retreat with it. Not sure how many people have map knowledge of the map changes on this. But when they come out, they can choose which way to go. Let's see if they know to go left, the short route. And they're going to rush right out the window before spawns are even ready. Not wasting any time whatsoever. And they are through the choke point. Spawns were not able to capitalize on the car alarm. And right now, I would say Colossus, very impressive showing. As the Charger does land, but gets cleared with no damage. Tank does spawn. Hunter's lingering in the back. Boomer gets popped. And now Survivors are going to try to push into the metal supply factory. And the Tank is not going to let them. He has a hittable in play. Bill playing so aggressive and now decides to run away. And now he cuts him off, and he gets a double punch, and he already has a corner. No one is shooting the Tank. He gets it in cap with over 4,000 HP. He has the hittable, and it caps Lewis. It's going to end up being a wipe. This is disastrous. A one cap separated from the Survivors, and now Bill is trying to run away. The Tank gets the corner, and that is going to be a wipe. Oh my gosh. What a play.
I can't believe I'm missing the most excited game of my life right now. Oh my goodness. I can't even see it.
Hopefully the casting is doing it enough, but oh my gosh, that just the capitalization from the SI and the Survivors just being aggressive on the map was working out well up to the point where they had to take the attacks, and just great capitalization. I would say just lack of map knowledge on the Survivors, trying to push the Tank through a garage door, not realizing the garage door behind them was breakable, and the Tank got an easy double punch separating everybody from their team.
I feel like with Crash Course ReRouted, you obviously are going to be someone who's very knowledgeable on the map for whatever reason. I wonder why. But yeah, that's, I think, one thing that is completely different from most of the other maps that we see in competitive play that are in the game and DLC, is that we just don't see this map that often.
No, for those that aren't aware of Crash Course ReRouted, it was created by myself. I did create this map. It's gone through a lot of changes. It was extremely long on its release, and now it is much more shorter and balanced. And it is an absolute honor and privilege to see a map that I created played in the grand finals of a tournament. So I thank for the teams for picking it if that was the case, and the tournament admins for making it a reality for me. But right now the game is live. Opening attack will be Jockey, Smoker, Charger, and Spitter. I might want the Hunter instead of that Smoker, but let's see if they can mimic what the other team did with the opening hit, taking 14% from the first hit. But it looks like the Survivors are being much more cautious now. And just whenever you get in here Amy, let me know, because I just don't want to keep talking over you.
No, I'm working on it. It's I don't know if there was an update to ReRouted to where it didn't update on Sir's list of maps. I don't know if it's outdated or not. I'm trying to figure out now.
Yeah, actually, I did have to update my own map, actually, because
Yeah.
the version that I had wasn't actually the current one, so I had to download it from Sir Please site. So at least
Okay, that's what I'm doing. So hopefully
it'll let you in here. But all right, they do get inside the building before the next attack is up. It is going to be a Hunter, Jockey, Charger, and the Boomer. The Hunter goes right away, gets a stumble on the stairs. Jockey looks like he wants to cover. It's going to get M2. The Charger goes down the stairs, lands, but gets stuck on the bottom of the stairs for some reason. Maybe it was angled as the bully gets M2'd and popped. And right now, Babylonia seems to have momentum. But that Boomer might slow them down enough to give the infected the opportunity to hit at the choke point, exiting the window of this building. And never mind, they're just holding W2. Alright, they are being cautious. And it looks like they're going to go the opposite direction. They get the pull separation on the team. Hunter covers. So it's a little bit decent damage. They shoot the car alarm by accident. And I'm just not sure the reason to go this route. I mean, it is rerouted, so they guess they just chose a route that got read.
I'm allowing you to say that joke because it's your map.
And they just gonna go inside. I think this is a pretty standard building to fight this horde if the horde is alerted in the regular Crash Course. Boomer goes in, does land one. Charger Rockets misses. Hunter is trying to cover on the one survivor outside. Triple boom proxy. Hunter still not find a target. He actually gets skated by 3 people that were boomed on. All 3 boom people got some chip on the Hunter.
I love walking right into a game mid ski to finally was able to get into the game after technical difficulties on my end, but now I can actually enjoy it alongside of you, MK.
There we go, and there we go. They have the tank in, and they're going to run this back. This is an interesting call now, Amethyst. See if they know the short route. No, they're going the long way. They don't know the short way they could go. Spit's going to block them, and they're not going to be able to run in there. They could just go the other way, which is much more safer. But, hey, it's their decision to go the way that they want to go. This just gives them the opportunity, the tank, to cut them off, Amethyst, to going this route.
Okay, see, yeah, because whatever the short way was that they didn't go, it didn't really seem to matter that much because the tank was just messing around with his hittables for a little bit, and now it looks like he's going to have to confront them from the inside, probably with no hittables, going in the same direction that the survivors went in the building from.
This is interesting. This is going to be the first Amethyst. I've never seen a tank taken in this room as a boomer gets popped. This is the first time. And I'll tell you what, I took 3 tanks already. Why don't you take this one away as soon as he's ready to commit then?
All right, waiting for the tank to go in right on top of the survivors. We've seen tanks before that have to play around these cubicles. These survivors are going to go down 1 floor further. The Charger's going to try to stop them, but he wasn't able to succeed. Are they just going to AI? They are. They have completely AI'd this tank. That had to be their plan from the get-go. Now they're just going to go ahead and fight it outside. So it doesn't look like they're going to have, the special effect is not going to have a full hit up. They're completely caught with their pants down right now. The Hunter's just trying to make noise, and the tank is taking massive chip because of course it is. It's an AI, already down to 1,000. I don't think this tank is going to get off even a punch, let alone land one. Oh, he's getting close to Bill. Oh, Bill with the AI whiff, and that's going to be it. I was so caught up with trying to figure out exactly where the survivors were going to fight the tank in this building. They weren't trying to fight the tank at all. They were just trying to get the hell out of Dodge, and it worked.
Yeah, that was a good play. Never saw that strat before, staying in there. I mean, they did have... I have no idea what they're saying, but I know that the tank could have went a different way, which forces them into a tougher situation. And the tank could have punched the door in the bottom, but chose not to as well. So I think it's just a little bit of a nice ski coming out, but maybe just lack of map knowledge. Because like we said, this map is not played very much. It's a beautiful charged pits land. It's actually a big hit right there.
Yeah, that actually is a very big hit. That is probably similar to what the Charger wanted to do to prevent the survivors from going outside in the first place. That was a big reason as to why the survivors were even able to get outside. If that Charger lands a double charge, tank comes in, maybe gets some punches off, I don't know if they make it outside completely like they did.
No, I do agree that would be quite... And if you're a tank committing in a small room, that's exactly what you want. Well, not really small, but where it's easy to get a corner by jumping over something and not being kited around in circles. It's kind of nice, but either way, they are in. Spawns are coming up right away. Jockey does land. Charger cuts forward, misses. Oh, he lands, actually!
That was actually that was actually great because the only person that was paying attention to that jockey was Zoe, who had no mind of the Charger whatsoever and just hit her like a tank while she was focusing on the jockey.
Right now, the bonus is huge. They have to exhaust almost all their pills, but this is a really good score coming out from Babylonia. But due to this probably being an 8-chapter campaign, even if they take a big lead here, Amethyst, this is nowhere close to being over.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think, though, well, And I'll ask you this question right after this hit, MK, because I do think it's an important question. Charger is going to land onto Lewis. A little bit of spit damage, actually very little spit damage, unfortunately, because it's spread around the fence in a weird way. But when both teams are playing on a map that neither are super familiar with, do you think it's more of a vantage point to go first as survivors or infected?
I think it would be more advantage going first as infected, as it clearly shows here that Team Colossus just got caught in a bad situation, not knowing the map, and then, as you can see, the other team just took it back and safe. Didn't want to put themselves in any scenario where they could get wiped and get no aggression whatsoever, and it just happened to pay off for them with the
they
SI
played it
waiting
extremely
too long
safe.
to commit their tank.
Boomer's going to go from the top, land 2. Hunter's going to go from the back, looking to get skated with an Uzi, but the Charger is going to land onto, I believe that's Bill. They're all purple and, like, invisible, so I can't see them. But actually it's going to be a end of the map barf bag, as these 4 survivors are going to make it into the safe room on Chapter 2. What bonus are we looking at? 400 even? Almost even? Looking pretty good to me.
Yeah, they'll walk out with 432, take a couple hundred points lead. But right now, this is where the chapters start getting worth a little bit, so this is where the points come in. And I'm really curious to see Amethyst if they're going to play the finale, but with there being 2 maps, I'm assuming it's only going to be 1 through 4. But I don't know what their rules are for their tournament, so there's a good possibility that we just see 10 chapters and both finales played. It's possible.
No, it's a definite possibility. It's still a close game right now, so we're not counting it out. I think I've only played this map twice, MK, and I don't think I've ever played the finale. So is it similar to Crash Course's finale?
No, because right now this is only map 3, and they have 2 more maps, and this is where the finale would take place. And now it's just pretty much a choke point. They're going to have to come out of the safe room, make a right, go into the building, and drop through the window and start the event like it would be a finale. And then they can start navigating down the alley. And then one of my favorite parts about making this map is go above the train tracks on map 2.
Alright. I'm going to play this one pretty classic, whether you know the map or not. All the special infected look like they're coming from this roof. Going to leap down at the survivors as soon as they exit the safe room. Charger fiending for a rocket spawn for sure. Jockey's up, Charger's up. I tried to execute the old classic Charger smoker spitter, but didn't quite work out there.
No, and it doesn't look like they know where they're going. They're going the wrong way. Only one survivor knew where to go.
Oh, no.
Oh, and the smoker went for the wrong one. If he was able to get the one inside, it could have been good damage, but I just think they wanted to sack the spawn to make sure they had what they want for the choke point.
Well, that's the kind of pandemonium that makes stuff like this really entertaining, is the survivors were going the wrong way, and one special infected had a good opportunity to catch one survivor in a chokehold, but the special infected probably didn't even know where he was, because he's not as familiar with the map as a bunch of the other Left 4 Dead maps.
All right, now they have 2 different ways they can drop here. The window in the back is now open. They could drop on the van. Looks like they're going to hunt that hunter. Nope, okay, I thought he was going to go shoot that hunter from behind, but he chooses not to, so they're just going to drop through this choke point, clear as many commons as they can, and that Charger looks like he's going to get easy pickings dropping from that window. And to be honest, Amethyst, I think it's much safer now going from the kitchen area rather than right there.
If there's anyone's word I'm going to take for it, it's yours. Survivors drop down. Boomer's going to land. Oh, that was really scary there for Mila. Just 2 centimeters away from getting charged backwards into that room as the rest of their team dropped, but luckily was just able to slip through the clutches of that Charger. That would have been bad.
All right, event is started, so they're going to have to take at least 1 or 2 hits here, Amethyst. And the play is, in my opinion, to run back to the garage next to the safe room, because those garage doors are opening, as we can see, and they're going to fight it here. And this is going to be advantageous for the SI, and they have a quad coming in. Let's see if they can capitalize on the positioning. Charger rockets in, Smoker gets cleared, though. Charger does land! Hunter does land! The jockey misses. This is going to be good damage, Amethyst.
And you know what was so great about that hit right there? Even though really only 2 of those special infected actually landed for a significant amount of time, the Charger separated the Bill, who was on top of that bus. So one survivor had to go all the way out to rescue the person who was getting charged, and the other person had to get cleared by Francis, who was getting attacked by special infected. So that worked out pretty well.
Indeed, it did. I didn't even see. Tank will be late at 60%. They now have the 2-2 up following a quad. It's going to be a Poo-2. They have the jockey and the smoker. Maybe a car alarm try. They get a pull back. No car alarm attempt. And looks like the smoker and jockey are pretty much just going to get bullied. And I think the spitter died last. I didn't see the sack order, or it might be a 2-2 with Charger Hunter.
Maybe we'll see survivors slowly climbing up, about 10% away from the tank right now, so Special Infected definitely going to be able to plan another hit around these trains.
Wonder where they're going to fight this tank. I don't think if they have to drop in that building, oh man, it's going to be quite a scenario for the survivors, I'll tell you.
Well, yeah, and it looks like that's exactly what the Special Infected are planning on right now. It doesn't look like they're going to go for another hit up top. The Boomer looks like it might be setting up for a rocket spawn early. But we'll see.
Oh, this is a messed up spawn, I'm not going to lie. They literally got to fight the tank in that room. I mean, there's no hittables, but... At least they could at least drop. Nice shutdown. Wait, what? What? Did you see that?
No, we just get dragged off by the Charger?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a classic. That dragged off by a Charger Left 4 Dead 2 is a classic.
Alright, the survivors are able to get into the bigger room now, so I think they have a little bit better of an advantageous spot to fight this tank. Tank's not going to waste any time going in here. Amethyst, take it away.
A bigger room, a couple of obstacles in the way, but the tank only has one spot to go through. Oh, nope, they're going to keep going downstairs. I didn't even see the staircase, so they're going to go down. Oh, they might just try to do the same thing they've been doing and AI the tank, but I don't think it's going to work this time. Tank does have to stop though, and he doesn't want to eat too much chip. He has to play this weird game right now where he wants to follow the survivors through these like one-lane doorways, but if he follows them too closely, he's going to eat 2k chip before he even gets in. But if the survivors get too much ground, he's just going to AI. So the tank is going to go in, and they are going to fight him in this greenhouse. The smoker is going to get cleared right away. So I was right when I said it was the least important Special Infected for this tank fight. It looks like the tank gets a corner, but Bill is able to maneuver his way out of the clutches of the tank. But Francis now gets caught in the pots, and it's going to be a 3 secure, and that is going to do it. Milo was not able to get out of the clutches of the tank. The tank, all he has to do is body block Lewis, and that is going to do it. I was so focused on the tank, like trying to see if the tank was going to get this corner onto Francis. I didn't even notice that the rest of his brigade landed.
I cannot believe that, Amethyst. What a tri-cap coming in with that tank. Couldn't ask for anything more if you're rooting for the infected team, as right now Colossus has all the opportunity to take the lead here, Amethyst. It's just up to them if they can take it.
So we see that the tank spawns right as the survivors enter that building right there. We got 2 different levels to that building, and then they go outside into a greenhouse. In your opinion, MK, if you're the father of one of these teams playing this map right now, where are you fighting that tank?
Actually, due to the infected allowing them to take the room that they took it in, that room is actually the most perfect room to take it, because if you think about it, Amethyst, it's a giant rectangle cube. You have things to jump on top of in the middle of the room, which means you're not going to get doubled, and it comes down to raw skill with the survivors on shutting down the SI when it comes in. Should be a 1-in-cap tank, in my opinion, if you can shut down the spawns, but if you land a tri-cap, it's going to end up in a wipe. And that's why I think right now there's so much opportunity for Colossus to take this lead if they can shut down the spawns during that tank.
Well, let's see what they do with this first hit right here. Doesn't look like everything's going to come from the top of this safe room, sort of like we saw half a round ago. Looks like the charger is going to come from the garage over there, playing it very slowly, of course. Now here comes Babylonia out with their infected hit. Their charger is going to be able to land, and so is their jockey into the stew. That is going to be a pretty decent first hit. And yeah, I would say it sums everything up there.
Yeah, they definitely got some great damage. They already got one survivor down to 3 punch range due to being early, and already down to 71 health. Nat at 87, one at 99, and then of course Mira still sitting at a perfect 100 HP. and it looks like they wanted to push through that window, and they actually the smoker got baited, thought they were gonna drop, and they put down that smoker, and this should be a clean choke point, Amethyst right here.
Yeah, it's not a great hit to begin with, even with that smoker. But I actually really like the decision with the Hunter going in right there, because there's not really any point to waiting for the survivors to drop and just split immediately. Go when they're all piled up right in that window, stumble some backwards, and spit on them. That was actually really smart.
Yes, it was. The event is started. Again, the teams don't know. Again, probably just this map not being played very much, going to a safer area. But okay, they're going to go underneath, allowing the SI just to drop from above. And actually, it's a quad, so this is actually a really good call, Amethyst, to stay inside there.
Yeah, pretty much the only thing you're super worried about here is a multi-charge or a spitter, and neither of those things are going to happen. Jockey was able to land for a little bit longer than the Survivor team probably wanted. That's all right. All things considered, they took that pretty well. Good job knowing what spawns were up there, because spitters up there, everyone's losing about half their health.
Yeah, right. There's no way they go inside there for that, but
no, absolutely not.
Unfortunate, the Hunter got stuck on the Charger, so they're not going to be able to capitalize much more than you said, the Jockey getting away with some health, but they managed to get 23% of the bonus down with the 3 SI attacks that they've gotten so far. And even with Horde coming in, they can set up for another hit at the car alarm. Charger misses, Hunter lands. Spit actually lands. And they set the car alarm off. Now they can't they can rush here, Amethyst, but they cannot spawn this tank right away.
Right, yeah. I mean, they do have a little bit of ways to go before the tank spawns. I don't think the Horde is going to matter that much. I think the only thing that the Horde really affects here is, since the survivors have to take it slower, it puts Babylonia in the position to ask themselves, do we want to hit while there's a little bit of a Horde, or do we wait for the survivors just in case, so they can't do anything crazy with this tank push? But I guess that, I don't know if that answered my question or not, actually.
And they sacked their quad. They did have a quad try, but I think they want to get spawns for tank. And now we should see survivors wait out this Horde that they triggered.
Yeah. So yeah, playing it super safe here. They don't want to give Colossus the opportunity to just run to the greenhouse like Babylonia was able to. So they are just going to stay in that room right there. And this is a pretty good hit for survivors that are going to be coming down into this drop choke point into this one-lane doorway. We got a Spitter, Charger, Jockey, and Hunter coming up. Oh, Skeet isn't going to be able to land, and that is going to be another thing I wanted.
Look at that spread! It's spread on both. What? How is that even possible?
It must have counted like one of the the waist. Oh wait, the tank's just going right in. Yeah, we're just gonna have a tank fight. Oh no, maybe not. He baited me, MK, but I'll let you take this tank fight since I took the last one.
All right, he's not gonna let him out of this room. This is good for the SI, because right now he could split the survivors by jumping on that middle part and going up on top of the filing cabinet. But I think he's just gonna go for a quick corner. And right now there's a boomer. And it's all going to depend if this boomer lands and where the Horde comes. Remember, the boomer misses. Rock doesn't land. And now the tank has taken a couple hundred chips. Probably take a little bit more here. He's lost 500 HP. And man, they are not wall banging that wall or anything. They're being very patient. And actually, it's because their ammo is not that high. They only have a couple hundred ammo. And they're not going to get ammo until they get into the next building. This might be why they're not being extra aggressive. And he's in right now. He's already down 3,800. First punch is out, 2,200. Second punch, 1,500. He misses his punch there. Smoker and Jockey take the same target. Charger misses too. It's just going to be damage. They're going to survive. And we might see a tug of war of the score going back and forth here, Amethyst, because right now Colossus has opportunity to retake the lead. They have 410 bonus. They're not going to be fast, though, and they have 30% of the map to crawl through.
You know, it's funny, too. I was thinking about fighting the tank in that spot. There wouldn't be too bad that if one survivor is going to stay on top of those filing cabinets, really the infected can only come from two directions, either up or in through that doorway. And that is like something that can cause what we saw there during that tank fight. Oh no, the boomer stumbled into the Spitter rebound.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Amethyst, that was such a beautiful 2-2 attack. I mean, it couldn't have been done any better than that. I mean, honestly.
It was, and you know what's funny too is I actually think Babylonia's special infected play this round was better than Colossus's, but of course Colossus was able to wipe with their tank. Babylonia wasn't, so we're seeing basically the folly of man, if you will. Oh wait, hold on! The jockey is going to go ahead and wrap Bill around this corner for just a little bit, but yeah, that just goes to show that no matter how good your special infected is, as long as you can take out the tank on a map like this, you're going to be the team that ends up on top for the chapter.
Yeah, for sure. There's not much more to take on this map, though. I think there'll be maybe 2 more attacks if they don't suffer an in-cap, but right now Nat is in danger of getting in-capped, only sitting at 8 HP. They've already found 1 extra set of builds. They might not find another. As the Hunter spawns from the front, Charger goes for Nat in the back, gets the in-cap, and then they stack on, I'm not sure, Mira, who is all their permanent health, and he's now slow, and that bonus is melting away.
Hang on, I got you.
And I think they're actually going to get 2 more hits now because of that in-cap coming out, Amethyst.
Yeah, the only one left with permanent health is Mira. So you're right when you said the bonus was melting away. Once again, just a great job to Babylonia keeping up their special infected play. It's been pretty solid throughout the entire chapter so far, as that Boomer gets shut down, ironically. And now we have a Jockey, Hunter, and Spitter coming up with, I think, a Charger.
I'm reloading.
Yeah, well, they'll definitely wait before they send this the last hit in. They just want to get the bonus gone, get rid of that 89 points. They've already got the full point delta, which is mainly what they needed. They're not going to be able to take the lead, but they're going to get it closer going into map 4 of Crash Course ReRouted. Hunter is going for Bill, who is alone, finds his target, jumps up on top of something so the Spitter won't. Actually, Spitter gets the in-cap.
Oh, Spit did, yeah.
Charger missed, and I think they're going to walk into safe room with just a couple of points, Amethyst.
I think you're right. Well, Charger is able to respawn. Maybe he can get on top of roof in time. No, he's going to go from the back, and he isn't going to land onto Bill, but it did not matter that much. So we do see Colossus make the safe room, an extremely close game we got going on right now. Only about 140 points between both teams. So yeah, so far so fun, MK.
Yes, and for those that are joining us, this is the first map of this tournament match. We're coming up to probably what's going to be the last chapter. I don't see Chapter 5 being played, to be honest. But who knows? They can definitely prove us wrong. And we're going to have a very early tank here, Amethyst. And this is what I've been waiting to see. This tank used to be very interesting to fight inside of the water tank room or the waterworks room. And now this room is much smaller. So I'm curious to see if they're going to take it back further or if they're going to fight it inside that room. I'm very interested to see what they're going to do.
Oh. Let's see how they take this first attack. Charger looks like it's going to spawn on one of those water tanks right there. This is not going to be a hit where they have the luxury of a Spitter. So let's see if they get some separation on any of these survivors.
There is a death charge possibility. The Smoker's going to line it up. They can pull onto that Hummer and insta-death somebody with the Charger. I don't know if anybody's weary of it, but it'll be pretty difficult for them to pull it off. And it looks like where the Charger's located, that's not part of the plan at all.
Yeah, my bets are no, but it would be fun to watch.
Absolutely. Early tank and everything. But okay, they navigate through the outside. Smoker gets a pullback. Charger lands. That was a little of a goofy animation there, but they'll get the 10 damage for landing the charge. A little bit of chip onto 2 other survivors, Mila being the only one staying at 100 HP, and that is just a little bit more than 4% on the opening hit there, Amethyst.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate for the Boomer there. I'm not sure if Babylonia did it on purpose, but every single survivor was able to go under that air vent, right where the Boomer spawned. That Boomer could have gotten a barf bag, but they just positioned themselves correctly enough to the point where no one got boomed, and that messed up a hit that I think could have gotten a lot better if that Boomer lands.
This tank might actually be spawned on the outside of the building, so I wonder if they're just going to fight it upstairs in the locker room. But right now they're taking it very cautiously, searching for... I think there's melees in every one of these rooms, but I think they're just kind of holding spawns.
Charger!
Oh, that's not funny.
And I think only the Hunter finds a target there. The spit gets blocked, but it spreads all the way to Zoe anyways.
Yeah, that was good. Looking out from Mila right there, watching for that spitter, because you know that's the only thing that's really going to do any damage there. Was able to get a little bit of spit onto the down Zoe, but not nearly enough for it to matter that much.
Watch out!
And here is the next tank, or the fourth tank of the game for Colossus in the hands of Erlin. Oh, that boom might be big, Amethyst, but he has a smoker. That's the only problem with this commit.
Yeah, just like these other tank fights that I saw so far, the survivors have a lot of room where they can just keep running back. So if they want to toy with the tank for a little bit, the tank could make a decision here to kill that smoker, but he's not going to. Smoker tried to get a cheeky pull right there, didn't work out. Now they're going to play this one, ring around the Rosie style. Francis is going to, oh no, that tank had an opportunity to go ahead and take out Francis, but I don't think Tank expected Francis to double back like that. And this tank needs some help. Let's see if he gets any. Watching the Hunter go for Bill, he will land, but it's going to be cleared very fast. Zoe's going to go down to the corner over there, but this tank is just about dead, MK, and it is. So a pretty solid take right there from Babylonia.
Yeah, unfortunately for the infected, that was just too many missed punches. I think he punched the first one a little early, trying to see if he can get the long arm, and then, you know, sometimes if you miss the first one, you might panic for 1 or 2 seconds, and unfortunately not able to get the second punch, but they do get it in cap. That's good for them. It is still early map, so there's a lot of opportunity for damage, but for Babylonia, that's a big score to be holding right now with the tank dead, Amethyst.
Absolutely, and it looks like everything's going to come from the top of this hit as we're going to see it go in. Jockey from the back is going to be able to land. I'm not sure if the smoker got Zoe or took the jockey's cap. Either way, it didn't matter. Boomer's going to land in another pretty clean take, all things considered.
Yes, it is. I would say it's pretty good as well. They still have 3 sets of pills on the person. One of the map changes here is you can no longer go on top of the bridge. You must navigate on the bottom ground here. The top route was taken away just because it wasn't really good for the gameplay. Survivors would be up top fighting tank up there. It was just not fun. So that's why we did some of the changes for a little bit more fairness and more enjoyable to play as the infected. But right now spawns are up, Charger, Hunter, Jockey, Spitter, and this is exactly the hit you like if you're playing this game. Best hit, if it's not a quad, Amethyst, is what they got.
They're completely expecting all of the infected to come from the top. I mean, why wouldn't they? They're slowly just making their way through this path and onto this truck. The Hunter is going to get skeeted. The Charger is going to miss. And even though every single infected team loves to see that lineup of infected, MK, that area was just too big for anything to land.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they just waited a couple more seconds, they have to navigate through this building. I thought that might have been a good place to throw the spawns, but again, when we're sitting up in this casting chair, it's so easy to call out what we think is perfect compared to when you're actually playing the game, so.
Very true. I'm only a shoutcaster, and I mean that.
All right, so we come up to the second bridge of this tournament match. If for those that play regular Crash Course, this is a one in the distance as they set spawns off the rooftop. This Charger will land. It does get a slam. There's no spit. And the Boomer jumps in the water, and the Boomer Smoker die off at the end. And again, they're going to get a Charger, Hunter, Jockey, Spitter for the next set of spawns coming up the stair choke point very soon.
Weapons over here.
This bonus is huge, Amethyst. They're almost at safe room.
Absolutely right, too. And, you know, I was about to say they still got to fight this tank, MK. They don't. They already fought the tank. I completely forgot it even happened for a second there. They've just been taking this so well.
Yep, so they are upstairs, coming up to the alley. Now this is another little bit of the map change to come right away. Hunter gets skeeted, Jockey gets bullied, but the Charger will land. Nice Spitter. That's a pretty good attack, just unfortunately for the SI there, Amethyst. The spawns that died at the end will give their last hit to be not the greatest.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. It's good, though, that they're making these last hits count because you were right, the bonus is getting very big right now, and Colossus is going to have to take this tank fight really, really solidly if they want to stay in this competition right now.
All right, spawns are going in. Hunter spawns immediately trying to find a target. Still not killed yet. Jockey also, eventually it does get shut down. So does the Jockey. And the jockey does manage to latch on, but that's going to be it. They're going to walk in with 804 bonus.
Save house.
52%.
Boomer is going to go ahead and grenade a couple of survivors. Not going to matter at all. And since coming into casting this game, easily the best tank take I've seen so far tonight, and because of it, Babylonia is rewarded with a huge bonus of around, oh no, just exactly 808.
Yeah, that's a huge score, and I like the word you tried to make up there. Maddle is pretty good. I mean, you're trying to get both words out right away to make why say
Sometimes
more?
I voice bomb myself. I'm like listening to I'm like thinking about the words that are going to come out of my mouth, and then by the time they hit my tongue, they kind of just scramble for oxygen sometimes.
All right, so this tank fight's going to be huge, Amethyst. They suffered 1 in cap Babylonia and then made safe room pretty much taking only about 20% more damage the rest of the map, which is pretty impressive for how long this chapter is, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. And the way, if the survivors are going to fight that tank the same way Babylonia did in that room, I think you kind of have to play that tank fight almost as if it's like, I would say like Death Toll Chapter 2. Like when you have to fight the tank in that safe room, and the best strategy is to just go ring around the rosy. Some special infected has to be there in some way or another to get the survivors to stop in their tracks and stumble them so that the tank can catch up.
Yes, that's why I was a little questioned that they had the smoker on the commit. He was still first pass. I thought maybe he might want to sack that, but I think they thought they might be able to get like an early pull, get on the corner, get the smoker out, and probably re-engage when they want to send the tri-cap in, try to hold off to get 1 in cap before sending spawns, but it doesn't always work out like that. It was unfortunate for the SI.
I'm trying to think, if I was a tank in that situation, I definitely want a hunter and I definitely want a charger. Do I want a smoker or a jockey? I think I might actually want the smoker. I just don't see a jockey doing anything for that tank fight.
Yeah, unless he grabs someone by the door and takes them inside, you're right.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
really, it's really difficult to land one in there. I mean, unfortunate for the SI, there's no spawns from above, so I would say the boomer's kind of out of the question because those aren't tight
absolutely.
quarters. So when you're in kind of a close quarters and you get boomed on, I mean, the horde's coming right from the door, so they're not going to waste any time. They'll be in there really fast. But due to not being able to rocket in, it's just not feasible to land a boom in that scenario, I would guess. And maybe that's why they didn't throw that smoker in, thinking that might have happened.
Yeah, it was a good choice. Smoker just wasn't able to do anything for them that tank fight. We'll see what Babylonia decides to go with when we hit that point of the map. But for now, watching the first hit here, Boomer on top of the roof, as you would expect. Let's see if Babylonia knows about the instant death spot.
Oh, what the?
Lewis had a one-way ticket to the slip and slide. He ran down the pipe onto the door. I've never. That is so wonky.
The damage, though, it's 22% already going out onto Colossus. That is an enormous amount of damage. And I'll be honest with you, I was kind of worried. I mean, I did make the map, but he flew so high that I was kind of worried he'd grab the roof of the building and get hung. To be honest with you, as the hunter lands in the front, he flew so high. Charger and Spitter are a little late to the party, and nothing's going to land really there, and that's kind of a good shutdown.
Oh man, that was so close. Francis getting a little over anxious there. The smoker had a smart play, but Erlen was just able to catch the side of the wall, so the smoker wasn't able to pull him down the hallway.
Jeez, the damage is quite a bit before tank has come up already. I mean, one's at 50. Oh, the boomer comes in, only gets 1, and only gets going to be an issue, as the tank's not going to get there fast enough.
Alright, well, let's see what Babylonia does with their tank. I'll let you take this one away, MK.
And he's going to come in from the top. Someone knows the map. He is in. He misses his first punch. He misses again. Both tanks miss. He misses a third punch. He's whipping. Oh, Hunter gets what? He caught him in mid-air with the hunt. He gets cleared right away. He gets a corner, another survivor. Tank still has 2,000 HP. The commons are now hitting the survivor team. Oh, he's going to be able to get another corner. He misses his punch onto Zoe. He gets 1 punch there. Another punch. The tank is finally dead, and that's an enormous amount of damage. And actually, that's a great play by the SI, knowing the map and knowing they can spawn through that rooftop and commit the tank there, Amethyst. I actually forgot about that.
And you know, those punches right there are what I like to call zoning punches, MK. Those punches don't land, but at least the tank is scaring the survivors into a position where they can't just run up and down the stairs. They're forced to move into the corners, even if you don't land the punches there. As long as you trust your special infected, eventually someone's gonna hit a corner and the punches are gonna land. Oh, and the Hunter got Zoe! Oh, I thought that was going to be way worse for a second because it looked like the Hunter was able to just barely drag Zoe behind the barrels, but there's a little spot, there's a little indent in there that I didn't see.
Yeah, for sure. But right now, Zoe's in danger of being slow. They're going to find one set of pills. I don't remember where it was at, but they'll find one. Paying is still 42 HP and bleeding. I think be fast for at least one more hit as the jockey pre-spawns around the corner. Survivors are not slowing down at all. They push out from the underpass, not going to let spawns drop from above them. And now they are slow as far as one survivor finds pills, pops him right away. It's quick again. Tri-cap with spit coming up. No smoker. And let's see if they're going to send the spawns here like they did before Amethyst or wait till they get inside.
It looks like that Hunter is antsy on top to go ahead and get a high pounce right now. So I think that is going to be the play. The Hunter is going to miss initially, but then is going to be able to land on Mira. And I'm telling you, I feel like every single time Babylonia has had a spitter, MK, they are landing either the Hunter or the Charger, and someone's getting spat on.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. I mean, everything is doing a pretty good job on landing and taking damage. If I had to call from right now, from what we're watching so far, I would kind of say that Babylonia is getting more skeets than the other
Colossus.
Yeah, Colossus is at the current moment. Colossus clears are great, but the difference on the score is showing one team shutting down spawns before they land compared to one doing quick clears.
You're absolutely right. Another hit gonna get sent in right now. Charger has to go to the bathroom, apparently knocking on the door, no one's home. Smoker's going to latch on to Lewis for just a second, and then on to Zoe for just a second. He is changing targets real quick, but none of them are able to do any damage.
Alright, bonus is down to 257. They still have a couple hundred points. Unfortunate for them, Mira's going to be in cap probably this next hit as they search for pills. I think they make save from Amethyst, but it's going to be hard to hold on to the rest of this bonus.
Yeah, knock on wood, you never know. When one of your survivor friends is at 1 HP, everything can go to shit real quick, especially if a boomer lands a big boom. Let's see what happens. There is going to be a big boom with a nice little bunny hop coming out there from Emer. And this is going to send Mira to the floor, and now, of course, going to get boomed on as well. Bill is the only one who can see clearly right now, and that spitter is raring and ready to go, but is not going to be able to get his spit up in time, so they are going to move on a little further. Oh, man, the spit was just off.
We know where he wanted to spit, but I think it was harder to land that than spit where he wanted to, actually, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, that was an impressive miss.
Smoker charge setup isn't going to land, so the Smoker just gets a ding or two on Bill. Spit's going to go in, doesn't get nothing. And then they're one hit away from crawling in with about 150 bonus. So they're going to make it, and it looks like they're going to be down a little bit less than maybe 800 points, Amethyst? Close to about 800 going into the finale, if they choose to play it. We'll have to see.
We still live in a world where Erlen might go down here and something bad might happen. Jockey is going to not get the scratch. That was a great M2 by Erlen and an even better high pounce by Roxas. 21 damage. He'll take that every day, and yep, see you later, Mira. Neck snapped in a heap, so that is even less bonus going out to Colossus right now as Erlen falls over. So there was always that possibility that that one last hit was going to take someone down. I actually forgot that Mira was black and white, but just like that, a huge bonus drop, a huge hit for Colossus, and they were already looking worse for wear.
Yeah, this is going to be it. They only have one more hit to take. They only got 55 bonus, which I think is all on Bill. So we might see a Bill focus. Nope, they're going to land it on Bill, though. The Jockey covers it. The Charger can't find a target. And it looks like they're going to suffer two more in caps. And that is the bonus gone, and out is just a distance journey. And it looks even bleak for that to even happen. Okay, they should be able to get a pickup now.
Yeah, and then I don't even think because they're already at a current 100. I think they have all reached. No, they've got a couple points left.
Safe house ahead.
But that is how quickly tides can change. It looked like all 4 survivors were going to make it, limping, but make it regardless. And it turns out now they have no bonus, and one of their survivors is dead. So a 1,000 point game here, and we are not going to see an MK finale here on Crash Course ReRouted. So that means map number 2, MK. I didn't even notice.
And we are back. So we're about to get this live real quickly, guys. Thanks for everybody for coming back. We're going to be seeing Dead Before Dawn played now, maps 1 through 4. We're not going to see finale because we didn't see finale on ReRouted. Actually, I could be wrong, Amethyst. It's not home and away, so there would be no disadvantage playing map 5, actually, but I don't think we're going to see it.
I don't think so either, as I'm quickly trying to finish my Duolingo lesson. I'm on a 100-day streak, and I cannot possibly take the chance of missing out on it. So take this away, MK, while I round this out.
All right, Boomer gets popped right away. It looks like this is going to be a sack now. They have a tri-cap to linger in the distance. No, they're going to send the Charger. Charger does miss. Smoker's going to come in the back and die. So Smoker... And no, okay, they're going to keep the Smoker. They're going to keep the Jockey. And that's going to kind of leave the spawns a little busted. And tri-cap with Spit, I think? Let's see what that last spawn will be from a Mur, and it's going to be a Spit. Yeah, tri-cap, Spit, no charge.
Okay, day 100 streak achieved, and my family is safe from that owl for another day at least.
Ooh?
I actually need to record the owl, the Duolingo owl.
Ooh?
Oh, you fuck off.
I could not resist them, and they go in. The Smoker gets cleared, Jockey gets bullied, and that's a tack shut down, and I'm going to blame the owl for that.
Who?
Exactly. Oh, now they're asking for me to... I don't know. Oh, their scores are backwards?
Oh, are they? Oh, wait, they are. Because my spec HUD isn't even up yet, too.
I don't know how I'm going to fix it when it's like going up.
You probably just have to wait until the round ends.
So we'll just write down... Oh, shit, I didn't know what it was at the beginning. We'll just have to do a little bit of math here. We'll write it down. For now, let's let a Mur play his tank, as everybody's going to run backwards.
Yeah, pretty classic here. Before Dawn, take it back to the gas station. I've seen this tank go like to hell in both ways, for the special infected side and the survivor side. It's just really all dependent on whether or not one survivor gets separated somehow like that. Well, the tank is a little too far away for that to be super scary, but you just have to be so careful. That roof can be so intimidating with just special infected flying on top of it. But it looks like the survivors are going to play a little aggressively right here. Tank is still first pass, 35%. I wasn't able to see what hittables he was able to bring in. I was too focused on seeing if any special infected would land while the tank was throwing rocks. Jockey is on top of the gas station, so is the Hunter. Tank's going to start to roll in. They have a Smoker, Jockey, and a Hunter. That green car is hittable, but it is going to just barely miss both Ellis and Coach. Had the instinct to stay inside of that gas station. The Jockey is going to go ahead and get Coach, but I think the tank messed up there in punching Coach. He was right next to the car, and the Jockey had him secured, but because of that missed timing, he was able to punch Coach, but not able to get himself in a good position to hit that car, so that ended up going pretty badly. And this is exactly what I was talking about, MK, where this can just go sideways for both teams so fast, because that was a down right there for that tank, and he just wasn't able to see it because of the missed time with the Jockey.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, there's a lot we could discuss that just went down here that I think was a huge misplay. What I've seen is that right now this tank has way too much health for 3 Uzis to be out there. No, somebody was not shooting the tank when he was committing, and we'll see what it is at the end when this score comes up. As the Charger just wants to sack and try to get better spawns for this tank. He's still first pass 5%, but that's still, oh my gosh, that was almost a beautiful alley-oop back there with that pull rock there, Amethyst. That
It
was
was.
almost gorgeous.
It was too, but if you're Emer, you were close, but no cigar. You got to hit that rock in this situation. You need to do some more damage to Survivor. You need to keep that tank for as long as you possibly can, especially since you have 2k HP. He has the ability to play long. That was his opportunity to extend that tank. He just unfortunately missed. Now he's going to have to go in and try to find a last-minute desperation hit with this hittable. That car's not going to get enough airtime for it to happen, though. Now the Survivors are under the gas station, and they're just going to play it very smart. That tank is not going to be able to. Ooh, that was really close. I think that car might have actually hit the end of Rochelle's hair right there. It was so close. But once again, close but no cigar. Pretty good take there by Babylonia, MK.
Yeah, I would definitely
Or
say.
I mean, Colossus. I mean,
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I have backwards too. It's
because we have it backwards now.
because Babylonia was winning, but they're not
Mhm.
going first as Survivor. So I guess it must have been because the other team went first as Survivor, or they went first on the other side. So I guess that's why it's starting this way, and
Yeah.
why they were asking for the score to be fixed, because the losing team went first as Survivor. But I think that was designed because it's just the second map of the tournament match, or of this grand final. So I think that's why it was done that way. Now it's 2-2. Charger Smoker, 529 bonus left. Pull forward, gets cleared. Charger has nothing to capitalize on, and that's going to be a pretty clean take for the Survivor team. And I don't know if that was a quad sack or not, Amethyst. We'll have to see.
As they're slowly going to approach the inside of this tunnel here, make it out on the other side. Coming up on this house, there's a lot of possibility left for the Survivors to take damage. There's a lot of close quarters areas left in this map where a good spit or good separation can cause a lot of damage, and Babylonia is going to have to get on that sooner rather than later. So this is an okay hit for this inside house right here. Of course, you want the spitter, and the Charger is going to land to get a double charge. Man, well, not able to, they weren't able to find a spitter for that hit, and it would have been amazing. But a good hit regardless. They're going to have to slow down a little bit now because of the barf bag.
Or as the from the European community, Royal Flush, for those that pay attention to history of Left 4 Dead. Probably
That's
a
it.
feature not many people remember, but that's definitely what it used to be called back in the day.
You get entertainment and a lesson in history of Left 4 Dead 2 during an MK stream. At least a couple tidbits.
A little nostalgia, and for those that wanted to know, the first config ever played on Left 4 Dead 2 is actually a Left 4 Dead 1 config called Sivo. For those that really want to know.
Settle down there, caveman. We got a manage for this. A little bit of damage coming out here, but for the most part, a little bit more damage onto Nat. But yeah, once again, Colossus sort of just strolling along here, doing fairly okay. And I'm trying to see right here. Yeah, I mean, and they're coming up in the safe room right here. They got like maybe one more hit.
Oh, that spit was actually huge. It's going to keep 2 out, but the SI weren't able to capitalize. This is not the best spawns for that spit block. If they would have a tri-cap there, maybe they capitalize a little bit more, and I think now they're just going to hold for probably one more hit with this charge. And I didn't see the sack order there, Amethyst, but I don't think it's going to be a quad. I'm pretty sure it's tri-cap boom.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because they just hold out.
Wow, I was completely off. It's a spitter. What the heck?
Well, I think that might be okay. Let's see if they're able to use it correctly. They are. Alice is going to get trapped in that room in the spit. It's a good thing you were wrong, MK, because that's exactly what Babylonia needed. Ellis goes down. They have their first in cap of the chapter. Nothing else is going to happen, it seems.
No, I think you're right. I mean, I think they'll have 2 spawns to throw in, but the Survivors will have their back on a wall. Nothing's going to be above them. And look what it is, just a Boomer and a Hunter. I doubt that Hunter lands with all the Survivors' guns.
Yeah, I don't think anything else lands for the rest of the chapter. I think you were right. Yeah, okay.
No one does anything in that hallway.
That's why I said I think they only have 1 hit left, because even going and transferring into the safe room over there, there's very little that you could do, especially when you just use your hit on the last tunnel while they were waiting it out. But either way, that was a very good last hit Ellis getting stuck into that little pocket into the corner of that tunnel is what they needed to make sure they were able to knock down their bonus at least a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Also, I believe the starting scores were 20-71 and 30-31. I think.
Really get in the way?
I think the scores were still correct regardless because the losing team went first. So I think they just maybe misread it. But either way,
You're right. Yeah.
either way, I usually don't do a quick shout out to Carwick from the Decepticons from old Xbox team. Smoke pull into the jockey, charger misses, and minimal damage on the board, and that's the first hit dealt with.
Yeah, so now we're going to see a tank in the hands of Colossus here. Unfortunately, Babylonia wasn't able to do too much with theirs. And I don't know, MK, if you're the tank in this situation, what's your pick 3 for the infected that you want?
Smoker, Hunter, and Jockey. That's definitely what I would want here. There is one scenario where I would say maybe the Charger instead of Jockey, only if the survivors choose to fight underneath the gas station when the tank is trying to get his car into play, and he gets it, and then the Charger gets him right at the same time when the car is in play as the Hunter gets shut down, and it looks like nothing's going to really land there. The Charger goes at the end, spit block, not going to do anything, and that's no damage from that attack. And good shutdown from Babylonia. 2 attacks in the book, taking less than 2% damage, as Taeyang will get the 5th tank of the tournament match for his team, Colossus.
Do you think we live in a world where if the tank is able to get a couple of their hittables up into good spots near the gas station where the survivors fight the tank, do we live in a world, MK, where you'd want a boomer? Just to try it, just because there's not like there's no boomer spawns. If a boomer is able to go ahead and get a 2-boom, God forbid, onto any of the survivors, and the hittables are in areas where the survivors are going to be scrambling to get away from them while being attacked by infected, do you see that playing out, or is that too risky?
No, I mean, it definitely can be a play. I think the higher the ping, the better that call is. You know what I mean? I mean, when you get pings pretty high up and around the 200 range, then you might see teams hold a lot more for that boomer because it's a lot more difficult just to deal with the common infected. So I think it's situational, and I think both are correct calls with what you're bringing out. And like I said, if you drop the Charger in having the Charger like they don't have now, where all the infected are above, I think the boomer could be a great plan there too on higher ping. So it's situational in my opinion. But a great job getting all these hittables in. But why don't you take this tank away then, Amethyst, where he has all these toys?
So MK's dream team is up. It is a Hunter, it is a Jockey, and it is a Smoker. Smoker was able to pull, and the Jockey was able to jock for a significant amount of time. You've got a dumpster there, man! Just walk around, it might be okay. No, the car's just going to miss Ellis by a bit if he's not able to get anyone down here. It's going to be such a shame because he had a couple opportunities there to get either Rochelle or Ellis. Now he's going to go all the way back into these trees, into these bushes, and try to fish out this one car. Nick is by himself, but I think he knows that the special infected isn't up yet, but he's going to have to be careful because the Charger is coming right behind Nick. He's not going to be able to land. Now the Charger's just in no man's land. That is going to be a rock, but I don't think that the Survivor team really cares about that. The car is going to be able to dip over that fence, and he is mercifully going to get it down after all that time onto Coach. The helicopter car almost took off the heads of the rest of Coach's teammates, but they were able to salvage that one a little bit. That would have been really disappointing, I think, if that tank in the hands of Taeyang wasn't able to get anything, considering he was put in a pretty good spot there at the beginning of his fight, but he did get Coach. It was a better tank than Babylonia was able to fish out, so good job, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they just have a lot of the map to go through. They still have 566 bonus, and of course, if you're rooting for a Colossus, they need to get that bonus down to start breaking into that point delta as the Smoker just kind of dies off, and Boomer Spitter are going to die off at the end, so they're going to get a quad try. Unless they allow the Spitter, nope, they're going to kill it, and now it's a quad attempt. And I'll tell you what, Amethyst, if there was ever a bigger time to land a quad, it would be right now because the game would be pretty close to... Actually, let's see how close the game would be. I have the scores busted. It would only be a couple 100-point game if they were able to land this right now.
And this is a big open area, too, that can be good for both the Special Infected and the Survivors. A lot of area for the Survivors to run, but a lot of place of places for the special infected to spawn. So let's see what this 4v4 ends up looking like. The hunter is making noise. Charger is in that little house looking to find a spawn, but he's not going to find one. And that was, yeah, you could see that one kind of being dialed up before it even happened to MK. As soon as that Charger went into that house and they blocked that spawn, I knew that Charger wasn't going to be up in time for that quad.
No, I mean, they get a little bit of chip on the bonus, but the more important thing I would say is it's smart to hold on to that Charger now, considered they didn't get it in with the beginning of the attack. Oh my gosh, it scared the crap out of me. Thank you, KB, but oh my gosh, I jumped in my chair. It scared the shit out of me. As a 2-2 come up with a Charger Jockey Boomer Spitter, probably see a hit on the stairs inside the house, Amy.
I actually really like this hit for inside of a house. You got the Jockey potential stumble. You're at the Charger. That's obviously good. Charger is going to go. Oh, man. What a beautiful shutdown there by Babylonia. It seemed like everything died instantly. I was going to say, I think Colossus went in a little too early, because if a couple survivors go down that hallway, you've got the stumble potential from the Jockey, and then of course the double charge potential from the Charger. Stumble potential from the Boomer and the Spitter in that area can be absolutely devastating.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a little premature. I mean, you got a little happy, a little excited, shot off early. Something you don't want to do. You don't do that. Maybe they learn their lesson. You want to impress her a little more before that happens. Hunter's actually going to go in right away, making spawns up above. It's going to be a quad try. And try to focus here. Let's see if they can land. Here's another quad attempt. This is the second one of the map. I don't know. It's going to be tough to land this Amethyst. Look at how far the Charger's got to get in there.
I like how you fast called this attempt quad hit, so I couldn't comment on whatever the hell you were just saying. It looks like the Hunter is just going to sit up there, and this time Colossus is going to take their time. Looks like they did learn their lesson indeed. Charger's going to come from this tree, and instead of taking Nick away, they are going to go for the quad attempt. Nick is going to get a lot of damage onto him because of the extra infected, so I think trying to go for the quad there was the right play from the Charger. Obviously, in hindsight, the Charger didn't land, so maybe you should have just punched Nick, but you got to go for the big play, MK.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was pretty close, all considering the smoke separation, the Hunterland. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get the other ones. Jockey got killed, and the hardest one to land out in the open, of course, is the Charger. Hunter is trying to find a target, and it lands in the spin, and the Charger curves and misses, and they're going to almost win the round, I would say. I think the spit doesn't land, actually.
I don't know whose Hunter that was, but that movement was so jagged. That was so disorienting. I don't know how you skeet something like that, other just guessing where it's going to go.
And one thing to note here, Amethyst, is that Babylonia has lost the map. So good job for Colossus. They won by 4 points so far. They want to make it a little bit more here by trying to get a spit. The Hunter will hit. Oh, that's going to be pretty good.
Well, we didn't really talk about it that much, MK, but Dead Before Dawn is probably one of it's be considered by the community to be one of the most popular DLCs to play competitively. I mean, these two teams are going to know this map, and we couldn't really say that about the Crash Course map. So we might see a 180 here. I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, look at this Charger. Charger had a dream. Oh, good. Oh, what?
I thought that, okay, see, I thought that Boomer had just barely stumbled the survivors out of the spit. Turns out the spit was just further enough down the tunnel for that Boomer spawn to actually stumble someone into a down.
All right, they break into the Delta. They get 104 points. It's not a lot, but it's a start. They're crawling the comeback, so we have a game now. They brought it with less than 900 now. We have 3 more chapters, so they got to average about 300 per map. And due to these chapters and how much they're worth, Amethyst, it is absolutely possible for everything to change in one chapter the other way. Absolutely can happen now.
Yeah, of course. It's still anyone's game. You have to imagine, especially because of how the first game went, Babylonia had a much better idea on how to play Crash Course ReRouted. I don't think we're going to be seeing the same sort of separations and fumbles on a map like this that just gets played so often these days in the community. So it's definitely 100% possible for Colossus to come back into this thing.
All right, now we have map 2. Tanks at 56%, so they got to fight the event out. But more thing to notice is there's no jockey on the opening hit. So now when they hold the safe room, it's not as threatening. Because remember, if you keep one survivor in the safe room and nobody by the door, they can spawn right behind Rochelle. Jocker and take her in the safe room, but now they don't have it. But they can still charge her, but the SI right now have no plans on capitalizing, because right now Rochelle was left open for about 8 seconds there, Amethyst. And I only recognize that because as I scrimmed with some of my teammates that I had before, we have taken advantage of that every time that it was given to us. Every time.
Yeah, that's very fair. But I think you're right. It doesn't look, unless someone changes their mind really quickly, it looks like this hit's going to be outside rocket spawn off that top of the bridge, just trying to dogpile onto these unsuspecting survivors. And it looks like they're slowly going to start to come out as the round begins in 15 seconds. Let's see what they do. It's a boomer, smoker, a charger, and a hunter. They're up. Here they go. The charger is going to land in a pretty good spot next to Rochelle, but he just was not able to find that charge. Unfortunately, he is able to find 4 3-punches into her face, though, so not bad.
Yeah, they managed to get some pretty decent damage out of it. The only thing unfortunate for them will be the sack order, but I think due to the area that they're going to be fighting out this horde, it's not the most terrible thing not to have the charger in the hit, I would say here, Amethyst, because they're just literally going to have to stay out in the open and take 2 or 3 attacks. Actually, they're slowing down. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe since they know there's no charger, they don't have to worry about something coming around from the corners. Coach is going to take the lead trying to get this hunter skeeted. He won't do it, but someone else will, and everyone's able to clear Coach relatively quickly. So yeah, I think they just survivors put it in high gear right here into this crescendo event.
Oh, look at her hunt down the spinner. She gonna get it? Oh no, she gave up. She was hunting down the spinner. It's a little risky when you do so, but they'll have a 2-2 with the commons. That spinner will not allow the survivors to hide inside the truck or inside the room. They have to stay out in the open due to the spinner being able to do maximum amounts of damage that way. Hunter lands. Charger will not. That was a really ambitious charger, but it's a good pound spit and boom of 2. And that turned out to be pretty good in my book, Amethyst.
Yeah, unfortunate that Charger wasn't able to get on the action there, because that was a pretty good hunt and spit over in the corner onto Nick. I actually thought it would do a little more damage. If that boomer accidentally stumbles Nick back into that spit, he loses easily more than half of his HP, but luckily Mila only lost about a quarter.
Is this a quad try in here? Oh man, it's gonna be really difficult to land. They're sending it. They're not waiting. Charger is in. And only one capper looks like he's going to land, but that charger, oh my gosh.
That was...
Jeez.
It was an ambitious charge, but it worked out with all of those punches. I guess they were distracted by everything else that had the possibility of going in, because the charger went in first, so they do have to watch out for the other spawns, and they just weren't paying attention to him.
All right, Amethyst, I think they're going to have to fight the tank inside this room.
All right, you go ahead and take this one, MK, since I took the last one.
All right, this will be the 6th tank of the game for Team Colossus in the hands of Nat as they sack.
I'll give you another try at that word if you want.
Colossus?
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 Never, just call it whatever you want.
I called them Colossalis for so long, and it was so wrong, and I felt bad. My brain is dyslexic when it comes to letters, I can tell you that. I'm much better with numbers, but...
I think it's endearing, personally.
All right, so the boomer does land. He's not going to send it in. They're going to wait a couple more seconds to get that last spawn in. He still has a couple common infected jumping in as the last ones fall to their death. Oh, he lands a rock! That's a huge rock there. They can actually send another attack now. I don't know if they're going to do it, but they have spawns they want. No, they're just going to send it. A Murpot pill, so I now think they're just going to wait and let that bleed happen for as long as possible. I mean, it's not going to probably amount to much of anything, but... There's no reason to go in when you have somebody bleeding, so just let it go for as long as you'd like to. This is a huge tank for both sides, more for Colossus, if you ask me, and he is in. Lost about 1K before dropping. Now down to 4,000. Gets an early punch. Rochelle really far away. Next punch, 2,400 HP. Jockey lands. There's another punch. It's a double. And he got another corner. There's another punch. He gets his in cap. There's a lot of punches from this tank so far. Gets a punch onto Rochelle. Another punch onto Rochelle. And another punch onto Rochelle. And that's a huge amount of damage and a great tank coming out from Colossus there, Amethyst, if you ask me.
Yeah, and you know what, too? That was a tank that completely deserved all the damage he got. A lot of the times in this game, more often than not, a really good tank happens because of really good support. That was just, honestly, really good tank gameplay. He got that early rock. He got the early corner. He got the early punch onto Rochelle. He got the double punch when the jockey brought him a gift that I think was Nick or Ellis, or I couldn't remember who it was. But that was just really solid, didn't whiff punches, didn't stress, got what he needed to do, and got a lot of damage out of that tank.
And now the jockey goes in a little late. He should have sacked himself right away. Now this doesn't allow the survivor team to push forward and take up maybe a choke point or two, because they're going to have to wait for that other survivor unless the infected choose to go without Nat. I don't know if they're going to, but no, they don't have a spitter yet, so they got to wait for their full set of spawns.
Thanks.
I don't know how in the world you're recording this game, because I can barely find places to look at it myself.
Yeah, it's oh, okay, Hunter is now up. It's a little difficult, but Hunter lands. It'll be a pound spit, charge, stumble.
Ooh, in the spit, yep.
That might be an in cap. Oh, there's a safe spot. No way.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, if he was just like a foot over to the left too, that does a lot more damage. But that's one of those situations where maybe you just stumble coach instead of charging him, but it still did a pretty decent amount of damage.
Yeah, 270 remains, Amethyst. I think they get one or two more. Not much more damage can come out. Smoker misses in the back. The jock pounce lands in the front. The jockey going for a ride. It's going to be another in cap, I think. Yep. And that's going to break into the DB now. Even more. It's gone. The fucking DB's almost gone already.
The jockeys in this game, man, we always talk about it, but they're just so unpredictable. It's almost like even when you see them coming and you think you've M2'd them, when you have orange ping, I don't care what the number is, it's basically just a coin flip sometimes, whether or not those fuckers land.
Yeah, right now all the bonus is on Ellis, who's in the front. They can't get Ellis either, so this is just going to be for nothing. Might just delay them a little bit, but with no DB, all those in caps, just a delay, Amethyst. They'll walk in with 100-some bonus.
Yep, Roxas is still, Roxas is looking great. He's looking around at his teammates like, you guys are having problems? I'm doing fine. And I think that was the last hit. No one else is up. It's just a jockey and a boomer. And, yeah, nothing's going to get done there.
So, I said it before, and I'll say it again. Right now, Colossus has the door of opportunity to walk through, Amethyst. Can they do it some more and break into more of that point delta? This is their chance. They have the chance to do it.
It's a definite possibility. That tank fight with all of those shelves and boxes and infected spawns, it can be kind of hard to maneuver or know what's going on because of the line of sight you have as that tank. At times it could be a little confusing. The tank usually should be able to find a corner in that area, but who knows? That tank is not like a foregone conclusion of how it's going to end up. So we'll see how Colossus fights it.
Yeah, I mean, we know where it's going to be fought at, but I think it's a little bit better if they fought it outside. But you don't want to go backwards on a map that's this long as the attack is now going in. Oh. Charger misses. Hunter will eventually find its target, but not for a while. One pistol shot killed that Charger. It was so close as the smoker pull goes out for actually a lot of damage. Holy crap, Amethyst. It's almost 9% with no spitter.
Yeah, and I just wanted to make a point here. I think this is easier said than done, but one teammate got completely separated for the rest of his teammates there, and the Hunter and Charger were going after him. I think there is a Charger. You have to wait and see if the Hunter gets that hunt first, because him hunting is going to be a lot easier than your charge. And if he gets that hunt, you just play bodyguard. You punch. You don't waste your charge. You're the defender of that Hunter at that point.
Yeah, that is a great call as the jockey rockets in, gets M2'd and killed. The Hunter does find a target, which means this pound spit successful. Boomer will not be, and I am pretty confident that is going to be a quad sack, which means we'll see the survivors run into the room or the box truck, but probably the room is a little bit more safer.
Yeah, I think you're right. Seems like that's exactly what they're doing. And you have to imagine Babylonia knew that Colossus was expecting a quad, so let's see how they decide to play it on the affected side.
All right, here it comes. 2-cap lands, just going Fifth City onto Ellis.
Yep.
How was this not being cleared? Oh my gosh!
That smoke. How much damage did that smoker do to Erlen?
What did we just watch, Amethyst?
That was like I don't even. I think the Charger landed 3 punches. I don't even think it was that many, but the stuff wasn't getting cleared in time.
No, I think you're right. The smoker got a lot of damage. Oh, did you see that? There's no way that just happened. I mean, it doesn't matter at all, but I don't know if you noticed, but he picked the melee weapon, and the freaking gun flipped up in the air and landed on the top platform.
I
You
see
see
what
it
you're
there?
talking about.
What is that?
What in the world?
I mean, that's the most random thing to pay attention to, but it did happen. The Charger goes Fifth City on Mira. Now Mira is now slow, which will mean early pills to be popped. Boomer stumble, and the pills are already out and popped. Let's see if they commit with the commons early. And since I did take the last tank away, why don't you take the 6th tank of the game away for Babylonia in the hands of Mila?
Sure thing, buddy. It is going to be a Hunter Smoker, and I believe it was a Charger who died, so this is going to be a Jockey. Playing it safe, a bunch of different special infected that can maneuver around these boxes for the tank as Mila goes in. They're going to drop down, try to get a corner onto Ellis, and they are going to be successful. And now it's up to Ellis' team to try to get as much damage onto this tank as possible. But here comes the tank's friends. Jockey is not going to land initially, but the Smoker is. Hunter's going to go ahead and land on Coach and stumble Nick off of the edge. But a good little dodge there from the first punch coming out from that tank by Nick. He was able to avoid an extra 24 of damage because of that.
The jump. Neither one of them did. They're going to have to go back again. And more important, are they going to give spawns up in this room? No, they're going to be able to make it. Yeah, they're good. They're good. They're good. But that was funny that they paused it on his own teammates while they're making the choke point jump. As the Charger comes from behind, not going to land anything. Spitter, nothing. Boomer gets popped. That's a quad sack right there, Amethyst. And never mind. They went tri-cap spit. And went tri-cap spit.
Yeah, I saw the stars in that Charger's eyes as I knew he was going to go for Nick there at the bottom of that staircase. Just spawned a little too late, and that's all it takes to miss your to charge, unfortunately.
And they are blitzing the map very impressively right now, coming up on the 80% threshold. They do have a tri-cap with a spit to deal with. Maybe they might want to jockey instead of that smoker, but no, they're going to try to set up. Nice charge landing, and that's going to be big damage, Amethyst, coming out. They got a little too aggressive there, if you ask me, with the survivors.
Yeah, and they were looking pretty good. Like you said, they were just cruising through map 2. But really, all it takes sometimes is a close quarters charge spit to really jog your mind and sort of remind yourself going a little too fast can be dangerous sometimes.
I'm really hurt.
Yeah, and I think they're going to win the map, though, but not by as much as they wanted to, losing about 120 points there, down to 335 HP. They're not going to have a spit for this. They just got to make sure they do quick clears, take minimal damage. Hunter that does land gets cleared pretty quickly. Jockey's going to latch too, and they'll get about 40-some damage from that, but they're going to walk in with 304 bonus. Nope, actually 300 now because they got hit by a common. And they'll win another round, breaking their delta, another couple hundred points. But let's see what the difference is here, Amethyst.
It's only going to be about 700 and, what is that, like 44?
Yeah, oh, my bad, guys. I did the score thing again. I forgot to hit spectate. God, I hate that that's a thing, man. I get so lost into focusing on the camera angle that sometimes I miss some of the minute details of what I'm trying to do. I'm sorry, people that are spamming fix score and score correction. I apologize.
Man, I'm glad I don't have to worry about that.
But here, now it is right, and I was trying to decipher the score. But Tank is at 78%. That's probably not what you want to see if you're rooting for Team Colossus. You probably want to see that a little bit earlier. So now it's going to come down to this opening hit here, Amethyst. What do they want to do? Do they want to keep this? This is a good hit for the button. Because if they hit with this, they're not going to have what they want. You know what I mean?
The button is just so it's like it's just absolute hell, and you're 100% right that this is very strong. Man, I don't know. Maybe because even if you send one thing, it's like, what's the point? Even the jockey, maybe you send the charger. I think I think you have to keep this. I think you're kicking yourself if this hit doesn't land, and they miss out on like the perfect special infected for the button. I think that could be something they look back at in these tournament games and really punch themselves over.
And you're right. Look, they're keeping it. It doesn't look like they're gonna send it at all. And
yeah, this area is just so bad to hit too. It's just all open. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, it's just so much smarter to just hold on to it.
I think it's a really tough call because you're literally they gave him 25% of the map. It's tough.
I know, but I think you gotta but now you just can't fuck it up. That's basically 100% what you have to do right here. The spitter and the smoker have to work in tandem, and the jockey and the charger just have to work as distractors. Here comes the initial spit. The jockey died so fast I didn't even see it spawn.
Yeah, interesting. They send the smoker way early too.
They did. Oh, that one coming from a mile away.
Oh, they got the button still. What?
Did they?
Yeah.
I thought it was stopped. I thought the charger stopped it.
I mean, if we go and tally up the damage, they did get 16%. It's still great damage for an opening hit, I would still say, and it's still going down more.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was just surprised. That charger must have been just a second too late.
So they'll scavenge out a little bit more than 16%. All the commons are now outside, so they won't see a bunch of commons or any commons spawning for quite some time till they get to these corridors and these twists and turns in these hallways, because all of them are outside trying to get in right now.
God, how do you maneuver this map with this camera? it's giving me like headaches.
Well, yeah, believe me, I know. Now, this is questionable spawn. There's a long spawn above them in event, and they're not choosing to go from it. This is very interesting. I like to see teams try to split them there. They're going to send one. This is usually where it happens. They have two down. Nice hunter spit. This is going to be a lot of damage. They have 3 survivors and spit 4. Oh my gosh. Look at that damage.
That was huge. Everything worked out.
30%. 30%.
Everything worked out correctly there, and that was such a good spit spread too. Like the spitter was the most important part of that hit right there, and it just being a little off could have not gotten as much damage as the spitter did. Man, that was devastating.
Oh, nice skeet there, Amethyst. That was a great recovery from all the damage they just taken, saying, we're not going to have our spirit broken. Screw that hunter by Mila, shutting down it for a spawn, keeping the momentum going for their team. Event is started, and now Amethyst, we wait for 3 or 4 attacks before they can progress.
Yeah, this spot right here, usually if survivors play it well, there's not a whole lot the special infected team can do. They just kind of have to do as much as they can. We'll see what happens with Nick blocking that one area in that room. I believe most special infected are going after him, and it seems like they all missed. Nick was able to avoid the jockey, the hunter, and the charger there.
Reloading.
And they're going down. Oh, I think they had pills down there, so they went to grab them.
Oh, okay. So, leaving the room up. Nope. Nick going right back. Mila guarding that room. So, it looks like we are going to see a smoker, a hunter, a boomer, and a drumroll, please, a jockey.
Oh, the boomer. Boomer's very ambitious. Smoker misses. Jockey misses. Hunter finds a target. But I think that'll be the extent of that. Not much damage comes out of these hits. It's pretty rare.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, even with situations like this, these are some of the moments in tournament matches that can be the most devastating. If somehow a special infected is able to get a good hit on a spot when a survivor shouldn't be taking much damage, that's the kind of thing that can really turn the tide of a game, so you can't let your guard down.
Alright, now the bank is open. Boomer, AI Boomer is popped. Spawns are up. Tricap would spit. Hunter Charger Jockey Spitter. To be exact. Still have some commons trickling from behind as the Hunter is making noise in the front. What a skeet. That skeet was so big for the team, man.
Yeah, it was, and unfortunately, even though the jockey landed, he kind of split the survivors apart, so the charger just ended up running into nothing.
Spitter gets bullied and pushed out of the way and killed for his troubles. And now it's about to be tank fight time, and the survivors are not looking good whatsoever as far as health-wise. This is probably going to end up in a wipe here, Amethyst, because the tank has the survivor that's one punch. And you know for sure that survivor is going to be targeted first by the tank.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's probably why Driss is going to have to play in the back. They do have a Uzi, so they can't afford to do that. So we'll see if the tank makes that his priority or not. MK, take this one away.
All right. Uzi does position in the back. He's going to get his first corner. Smoker gets a pull forward. In cap at 3,700 HP. He misses his punch onto Rochelle. The Jock lands forward. The Charger gets the in cap. Now only one survivor standing. And the tank is going to get the cutoff. And that's going to be a wipe going on to Babylonia. And I'm going to say it for a third time this game, Amethyst. The door is open. Opportunity is knocking. It all depends on how much advantage can be taken from Colossus.
Yeah, and you know, with Chapter 3 of Dead Before Dawn, really the thing that sets the tone for the entire chapter is just how teams take that button. I mean, I don't expect it to happen today, but I've seen teams die to that button because they just could not get it open. Like the Spitter, Smoker, all the special infected work in tandem. It's such an important hit. After that, you've got a couple of close corridors, and of course that drop with the spit that we saw that took out a big chunk of Babylonia's health. But for the most part, there's just like one or two big hits you need to worry about in a map like this. And if you can do that, the tank fight shouldn't be that much of a problem. It's just that Babylonia didn't have that much health because of a couple of good hits.
Wait, what the? You see what they're doing?
What are they doing?
They're moving the pill bottle into the vent so the SI can't attack.
Oh. And you can't. They can't do anything about this either. But the round, I think the round's going to begin before. But even if the round begins, they don't care, right? Because you have to fight some special infected. I mean, some regular common infected. But the special infected can't afford to go in. Then they just get a free button.
Yes, exactly. So it doesn't matter if this event is started. I think it means nothing unless they eat a lot of damage from the hit. But this is hilarious to see. I'm not gonna lie.
This is a very interesting strategy.
Yeah, I don't think the SI go here. I think this is all planned from the survivors.
Yeah, it's a good plan too, knowing that the special infected can't commit to going in right now because they probably won't get a lot of damage.
You know what I just thought of, Amethyst? They could push that over there and stand on it and do the button so they can't be spit on too.
You're right.
But they're not doing it.
I don't know. I think that's risky because you're betting on Left 4 Dead 2 physics there, and that's a bet you're going to lose 9 times out of 10.
Oh, they got the cover! Oh, well done, Amethyst! Look at that! Beautifully done by the Survivor team! That is such a great play by them. The bonus is so high, 94.8 HP. And I'll tell you what, right now I told you the door was knocking. Right now they cracked the door. They have officially cracked it. It's going to come down to...
they literally closed the door with a pill bottle empty.
Yeah, you're right.
It's one of the cleanest button takes I've seen on this map. And with the Boomer shutdown, the only thing they really need to worry about right now is where Colossus or by Babylonia took a lot of their damage falling out of the vent.
All right, they're coming up down to the vent choke point. This is the big point for damage, I would say, for the infected
do they have a
team.
stunner? They don't. They have a quad. Oh, and the Smoker missed, but he can't skeet the Hunter.
Oh no! They got quadded. They're dead.
Oh, they got quadded.
No way! The quad!
No way! Oh! Tell me that did not just happen.
We just watched it happen. We just saw.
Oh my god.
I am speechless.
Did you? Because no, because oh my god, because Coach was down in the corner and the smoker missed him initially, but the hunter couldn't get up into the vent. He was fumbling around in the boxes trying to find a good way to get in there, but Coach couldn't hit the hunter that was like stationary because I think he was afraid it was going to pounce him, so he was waiting, and then he got capped and everything fell apart.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I agree.
Insane.
I think they had to know what the spawns were, realize what they were dropping into, and I don't think they realized it because why would you drop and leave the boxes and not just stay on the boxes?
Oh man.
But it's really unfortunate for them. There is one more map. They're down 1,000-point delta. This map is worth 700 distance. But due to that late tank spawn, I don't think they'll be able to mount the comeback at this point, Amethyst. I think it might be GG. It's close right now.
I mean, it is, especially after how they took that button. It was so clean and just disaster struck. Just a couple of survivors just freezing for just a split second in order to get quadded, and that could literally shut the door on their comeback.
All right, now the spawns they'll have to deal with is a tri-cap with a boomer. The jockey is excluded, and so is the spitter. And they're nice rocket charge in there, bee-hopping around the corner. I think that was pretty damn impressive considering the spawns that they had, getting 7% of damage. I think that's a great opening attack from Colossus. From Colossus for sure.
Yeah, absolutely is. We're just gonna follow around survivors around some of these tight corridors right here. They want to get through as much of this map as possible and get through as many spitter hit situations as they can where they're not caught up in these corners, and they did just that. Outside of the hallways they are.
Right, they're into the mall. They are a good job on navigating out in the open, not giving the SI spawns in closer quarters. Probably see a hit around the escalator, I would say. I'm guessing around here. All right, they're going early. And the hunter doesn't find a target. The jockey does. The boomer and spitter will die off at the end, so it's going to be a quad try before the tank. And man, do they need an Amethyst after getting quadded themselves.
Well, I wonder too what the morale is like for Colossus, because they were doing so well, chipping their way to the top. Do you think the wind is knocked out of them, MK, or do you think they're still in it to win it?
As we talk about it, game is about momentum, and right now with their SI play, I think they're still in it. They're doing a good job. They're not going in one at a time. They're keeping their mental game on point, but again, just knowing how much you're down, Amethyst comes into play, and it's hard to forget about that, but I think they're doing a good job due to the situation that they're in right now.
Yeah, you make some good points. As their hit is up at the moment, trying to scope out what they're going to do. There's going to be a hunter, jockey, charger, smoker, so it is a quad. So we could see some revenge take place, but we'll see. It looks like they are setting up for that specifically.
And they're going down the stairs because they know there's no spitter. This is a good part by the survivor team. There's no reason to drop and split themselves in danger without a spit attack.
Quads do sometimes leave special infected teams a little overzealous. Instead of just sending stuff in to get damage, they try to go for this perfect plan that 9 times out of 10 just doesn't end up working, and they sacrifice distance because of it.
Here they go. They're going to send it here. Questionable spot. That charger was super ambitious. And what a skeet coming out by Driss while he was being pulled. He skeeted that hunter while being pulled by the smoker.
Always impressive and fun to watch when that happens. And I think the only thing that landed, I think, was the jockey. It wasn't the charger. So they weren't able to get a whole lot done there. Babylonia is still looking pretty good as we send the crescendo event in.
Yeah, they're just going to hold this out as the Comets are trying to find their way in, spawning up in the event, dropping down, eventually finding their way. Hunter will land. There'll be a pound spit stumble with the charge. The charger takes him out of the spit. No, what is spit spread?
That
Holy
is the
crap!
weirdest. What is that?
That is the biggest spread I've ever seen.
That spit was shaped like a pair of lungs. That's really weird.
Yeah, he was definitely breathing it, I can tell you that. It's not what you want to inhale, though, but
Absolutely not.
either way, great hit coming out from Colossus. Mila is now slow. They'll have to take one more set of spawns before they go forward. Jockey's ready to go. It's going to be a quad try. I don't see them landing a quad here if they're going to send it. I mean, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
They want to. Oh, they're doing it. They're sending it. Oh, Hunter gets stuck in the door.
Hunter has. Actually, you know what? It did. It worked out okay. That situation, it was just like I was talking about. Sometimes teams get overzealous with quad and they just don't send it looking for the perfect opportunity. That right there, they're just like, guys, we need damage. Just send it.
Wow, that spawned like right away. Holy crap. And this will be the final tank of the game for Colossus in the hands of Erlin. Erlin looking to get a wipe to give his team the opportunity, just the chance to mount a comeback on this final chapter.
Yeah, and even then, if they were able to get the wipe and survive the tank on their survivor side, they're at best looking, in my opinion, at a map 5. So they really have to tough it out here and play with some grit and determination. You could go ahead and take this one, MK, again, for this tank commit.
All right, he's waiting for his spawns up. He has what he wants. He is in. Not going to let any bleed happen whatsoever. Misses his first punch. He lost 800 HP. Nice punch right there onto Nick. Switching over. Decides to take Ellis corner down. 2900 HP. Another punch. One more punch. Actually does go down, but now the tank has to walk around to catch everybody. Down to 2000 HP. Jockey trying to find a target. They find a target. It's another punch. It's not getting cleared. This might end up to be a wipe. Oh, Nick is not dropping. Okay, Nick does finally get the clear. The Hunter gets an in cap. There's only one survivor up. And it's going to be a... it's a wipe. What is there? What are the... What?
So, okay, that's like... the Jockey is so intimidating for all the wrong reasons. Because Nick was standing there staring at that Jockey for a good, 6 seconds because he knows if he drops at a weird time and the Jockey jumps, the hitboxes on this game can be so wonky, you just get latched onto that Jockey and you can't do anything about it. So the Jockey was just stalling for as much time as possible. His teammate was in the corner getting hunted. His other teammate was in the corner getting punched by the tank, and Nick couldn't do anything about it because he didn't want to get screwed.
And they just need a little bit more than 600 bonus to win. It actually can happen now. This is possible.
Oh, it definitely. I wasn't expecting the tank wipe there. It didn't pan out the way I thought it was going to.
All right, we know what the number is. They're going to need a little bit more than 600. They have 1540 bonus held on to them. Charger. Oh, they can't shoot through that wall, I don't think. Oh, yes, they can. Oh, oh my gosh, what are the chances of that? That is hilarious. I don't know if you've seen what happened there, but that is great. They're actually going to be able to shut down the spawns. And the only time that they don't shoot, the one common comes over and punches the wall down. That is hilarious. I cannot believe the common got in there and did that. That is great. But nonetheless, one set of spawns down, Amethyst, 2% in the books. And that is what you need if you want to mount a comeback, 2% per hit. That's a good number.
Reloading.
Absolutely. They are able to make it to the mall in a timely fashion, just like Babylonia did. Hit we're looking at right now is a Spitter Charger Hunter Jockey, so it's a good one, a good damage-dealing team. Hunter's going to go in from the top, and Jockey's going to come in from the other direction. Charger's trying to look for a good spawn, but it looks like he can't find anything right now. They might be waiting for him, actually. I can't see the Charger silhouette. Oh, it's over to the side, and he is going to charge. He's going to miss, unfortunately, and even more unfortunately, the Spitter wrist just going free spitting where he thought the Charger was going to go. It missed, but the Hunter didn't. So a little missed opportunity there, but not a huge deal.
Nope, as they're able to navigate through the choke point, take the shorter route because spawns are down. And they are looking to blitz and try to get into the more advantageous spot for the survivors before spawns will get a chance. I don't think they're going to be able to pass through the stairs. There is no spitter.
No,
I think they go stairs then. I think they go stairs. I don't know either.
You think they know? I don't know.
I would make the call right now. If there's no spitter, I'm going to tell my team we're going down the stairs. There's no reason for us to drop and put ourselves in a bad situation, in my opinion.
We'll see if they were keeping track.
What? That's a huge misplay, in my opinion. This is going to give opportunity for damage. Hunter does get shut down. The jockey will land for minimal damage. And now they need to go and start this event. I don't know if that was on purpose or not.
I think it...
Oh, they're going to... Oh, no. They start the
Wait.
tank with the event, with the horde coming in.
I'm so confused. Did they do that on... What happened?
Oh, no. Oh, the tank dropped. Oh, the tank's going to be able to cut him off. This is going to be a huge
Oh my
misplay by
God.
the survivors. Oh, this is disastrous, Amethyst.
Boomer missed, though.
Go ahead, take this tank. This is yours.
Oh, the tank going ahead in the corner, and the tank is going to corner Ellis, but the rest of his teammates are in the corner, and the tank's hit is dead miraculously. The Boomer wasn't able to boom on anyone, and the Hunter is looking for an opening, but he's not able to do anything. Does the Hunter just go ahead and take Ellis? I don't know. Is he going to be able to get a stumble? That is what is going to happen. He's going to get a couple of double punches. What? There's no way. What did I just watch?
I mean, they survived the tank, but they're not going to have any bonus to spare Amethyst and have a lot of map to go through. They have about 200 points. Now they pop pills, they lose more. Oh, this is going to be so close because they have a lot of map to go through yet, Amy. It's going to be hard to do.
I'm just honestly surprised they were able to kill that tank. I mean, they really put themselves in a bad situation, but they really did turn lemon into lemonade there, and I think they did a pretty... Oh, no. The Boomer did a really good job there at giving some more damage to Ellis, but they did about as good of a job taking that tank fight as they could have with the calamity that went on.
I don't think their intention was to spawn the tank because the other team started the horde first, and they walked up to start the horde and the tank spawned. So I think there was a little bit of a bug there for the tank spawning early for the second team.
And it strangely worked out for them.
Oh man, that's more damage from the spit spread. What a spread! It spread up onto the table, and I think that might be enough points. I think that threshold has been passed. And
Well, they do still have the option of finale.
I mean, if they're going to, I'd be really curious to see, but I don't think it's going to come because Map 5 didn't play it. But again, since it wasn't home and away, it won't have any effect.
Boomer from the bottom gets clapped.
I think that was more or less just a sack for the drop choke point
I
there.
agree.
And now their points already dropped below 600, so now there's no chance for the comeback without Chapter 5.
Good skied. And that spitter going in. It's not going to get anyone. But, oh, that was a really good clear. Ellis almost got separated there by that jockey, but his teammates were able to save him. What are we looking at right now? Current distance, 79%. At a couple hits left. I see no reason where if you shut down these next couple hits, you don't call Map 5. Like, why wouldn't you?
I know. I agree. That's why I almost now, since this is so close, I kind of wanted to see Map 5 on Crash Course be played now because how close this game is. I mean, literally, it's probably if they walk in with this, it's going to be like 160 points. Not even that, if I do my math correctly. Boomer's
Oh, and there was a Boomer.
Yeah, that's I think a sack. No, they're going, Amy.
Yeah. Because the Smoker went 2 as the Boomer went, and Smoker got cleared. MK, I think we're going to see Map 5.
I almost wanted to ask if they're allowed to do it. Oh no, the GGs are coming out.
Oh, there is no Map 5.
Oh no, final
okay.
call.
Wait.
They called for it.
I don't know if you can. I think he might have been joking.
We'll have to see. What's the call?
I don't know. I have no idea what the rules
Oh, they're
are.
not leaving. They're staying. Finals called. No, it said final.
What?
The admin called it final. We're seeing Map 5. And we have a 190-point game, Amethyst. 199.
I genuinely can't tell you the last time I've seen this finale. I think I've played this finale once in my life.
I am so happy right now.
What? And how has it come to this, MK? How did we get here? I'm so glad I did my Duolingo during the break because I'd be running out of time.
I am just so happy that it led up to these events, man. The quad, I thought that ended the game, actually saved the game for Babylonia now, if you think before they jumped on the rescue vehicle. That's why they lost the game.
Wow.
Because the Boober slap got a common...
I remember
got a
you
punch,
telling me
yes.
about that too, yep.
It was incredible. All you had to do was ignore it. And here we go live. Last chapter of this tournament match. And we're going to see one more tank Amethyst and one more game or one more round being played. Hunter, Spinner, Charger,
man.
Jockey. What an opening attack to have.
You're going to have to hold my hand a little bit for this one, buddy, because this is just a map I'm unfamiliar with. This is going to be a pretty great hit coming out, too. Emer took so much damage.
Yeah.
I can feel it, MK. I can feel it in my bones. It feels like the vibes are bad for Babylonia right now. Is that just me? I feel like the vibes would be a little weird right now.
Yeah, I think their mental might be a little broken. Not broken, but just not with it because they don't think they should be playing this map, maybe. And plus, getting wiped to that tank. I mean, so many factors can come into play. But all they got to do right now is just get their head together. They do have the lead, so they're controlling the pace of this game. And that's just what they got to keep doing.
You're absolutely right. Let's see what happens. The Jockey and the Hunter are going to go after the same target. That Jockey is just not going to get cleared for a while. Mia had to eat it for a little bit, and that is going to be a 2-boom as the survivors keep pushing on. That wasn't a whole lot of damage, but they do have to remember that Emer already took half their HP, so you got to be careful.
Yes, it was. Now they should be coming up to where the event's going to be started. Then they have to navigate through a level or two of the parking garage. And then
I also agree with the game starting back up again 10 minutes later. So I don't know what they were talking about, but I guess for the sake of the viewers at home, they figured it out.
Oh, the Hunter.
Oh.
and that was a pause issue right there because you pause depending on what you're doing, it'll automatically spawn you in. That's probably what happened to that Hunter. As a trigger event has been called, I think that's a bait timer trigger for some reason that went off when we were paused. It's strange. Oh no, it's the event started. Never mind. I ate my words. That's what I was talking about, Amethyst. When they walk through there, now it starts to trickle aboard. Kind of along the line of dead center. Charger lands. So does the spin. It's good damage, Amethyst.
Oh, and this Jockey's going to land too. It's going to land for a while. Nick's trying to clear it with a pistol.
Reloading.
The only thing that benefits the survivors out of that is that Driss is still fast. That's the only good thing about that. But that's an enormous amount of damage, Amy. Oh my gosh, they're doing so much damage every hit.
Yeah, and Driss is sitting at 42 HP, so that's one tap from anything, basically, and he is slow. Just maneuvering around these cars right now. We're going to see a Boomer, a Hunter, a Charger, and a Spitter. A 2-2, but a pretty good one for this tight area back here in this room. Whoa! Jumps don't exist anymore.
That's an oopsie by the Hunter there, Amethyst. A little oopsie boopsie.
I think you are correct, MK.
He might have had some poopy in his pants. He couldn't get away.
Can this Charger come through this? Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he could come through there, but I think he's saving.
Yeah, I think they went a more advantageous spot for the hit to come in. He could drop it from the top. And the Charger's choosing not to do it. Okay, interesting. This tank's gonna spawn soon, Amethyst. I'm not sure what they're waiting for.
I don't know either. They might have as good a map knowledge as I do when it comes to this finale. Oh, that was so close to a really solid smoke charge, but it was just a little off. So not a whole lot of damage coming from that. Emer did pop their pills, and now Driss is as well, as they need to be for this tank fight coming up, which is in the hands of you, MK, when it actually gets started. Where in the world is this tank?
It's probably close to the rescue vehicle, all the way up top, I would guess. Let me be spectative. Okay, he looked like he was to... if that Boomer land, I think he drops. But now he's not. He's probably just wait for respawns. They popped 2 set of pills already, but they got to take the extra ones. How many more do they got in here? I think that's it. That's all the pills they got, Amethyst. They're not going to get any more.
And so the tank can't afford to stall for as long as possible. Looks like he's going to be going in with this hit right here. Go ahead, MK.
All right, he's taking his way in. The Charger pre-spawns. He's going to try to get Nick. Nick tries to juke him. He gets his... misses a punch onto him. Oh, it's huge. He has to split now. He's being kited around. He is down to 1,000 HP. The Jockey gets M2. He's going to get one hit onto Rochelle. A second hit onto Rochelle. The Charger lands. He gets another one. And that's not that much damage coming out at all, Amethyst, from that tank. Great kiting job by the survivors.
I want to give a shout out to Mila there for kiting those two special infected. He had to kite not only a hunter but a charger. If that hunter gets him behind the van, Mila's down. But he was able to get that skeet. He did get hit by the charge, but he got hit by the charge in front of the car so his teammates could clear him easily. So that was really, really well done by him.
Yes, it was. Sponsor going quick. The hunter again going for a shotgun player. Not going to get it. The smoker gets a ding or two. Spitter not going to land. Boomer and Spitter, I think, died towards the end. And might be a quad attempt, or it's going to be tri-cap with Boom with what might be their second last hit. But Nick is getting so common locked right now, Amethyst.
Oh, yeah, he is. Good lord.
Gee, that was so much damage. I think that was 14 Boomer damage right there. That's a lot for grand finals of a tournament match right there.
Here comes another Boom, and it is going to get 3 of them. Coach is the only one who can see it. He got the skeet! That was such a clutch skeet by him. Doesn't even matter that Rochelle gets charged there. That could have ended up so badly with him being the only one that could see.
Clutch plays coming out from Babylonia though, Amethyst. They're winning a lot more one-on-ones with the SI compared to, I would say, Colossus quick clears.
And we wanted to, we were talking about Babylonia's mental game as if it was, diminishing, but they look to be doing pretty well for themselves right now. Here comes another hunter. Is it going to get skated? Yes, it will! The Spitter is going to go out in a very bad spot, and Mila's going to get stuck in it just with an unfortunate angle that the Spitter was able to hit. But the survivors are going to be able to come out of this building into the open area.
Oh, they're so split. They're so lucky they don't have spawns right now.
Oh, no! He's leaving Ellis. Okay, they're just circling the booth, so it's fine.
All right, they probably get 1 or 2 more hits. I think 2 more is what it is. They still have 363 bonus left. If they want to go, they need to go now. Oh, the vent is moving now. Oh, it splits the survivors. The charger lands.
No.
Oh, the spit gets blocked by the van.
The van with the assist of a lifetime.
This here is some serious bullshit.
Survivors chasing down the truck as we speak. Going 4 miles per hour as it should in a zombie apocalypse. No urgency whatsoever.
Yeah, they'll get 1 more for sure. They'll get rewarded with 1 more hit. It won't be the best, but they'll be able to tally up some damage. They have 280 bonus. What can they do with it?
This driver's drunk.
I know, right? All right, it's now in position. They can get on. Here it comes. Hunter trying to find a target. It does. It looks like everything's going to get a little bit more damage. They'll knock off another 30 points. Amethyst is still ticking down. But that will be Babylonia making safe room. I don't know what the total is. We're going to have to wait for them to finish the venture. So let's see what this total will be. I love the tires as they're not moving.
See, I just assumed the car was hovering the whole time.
Where we're going, we don't need roads. I bet you 90% of the people have no idea what that's from. But either way, they will make safe room and score 6,068 points for 9 chapters of Left 4 Dead. And now we know what the points need to be. Let's quick get this chapter loaded up. Let's do the point delta and figure out exactly what the number is going to be. They have 500 distance for the map, so we can tally that up. So if they get 500 distance, they'll be at 5645. So they'll need 420, 420 point, what? 423 to tie.
Okay. Well,
424 win by 1. That's crazy.
So okay, and it is important to note, aside from the quad that was landed by Babylonia, Colossus has just, for the most part, been playing a better survivor this game. Not by a lot, but they've won 3 out of the 4 chapters. So they're in their zone. They just need to keep it. Oh, and that's not going to be a good start. Hunter lands. The stumble. The jockey. The perfect crime. MK Nat is slow already. Or just about.
Just about. I mean, right now, if you're rooting for Babylonia, that is exactly what you wanted to see. They've already lost 13% of that bonus. Remember, they need 424 to get the W. They cannot tie because the score goes in increments of 4. So it is not possible to see a tie today. We're not going to see that be a possibility. Even not like we ever had before, but just saying.
Reloading.
Smoker coming out, you clear right away. Coach is by himself, but it doesn't matter because he's facing the 2 special infected that can't cap you.
Reloading.
And that's another nice shutdown by Taehyung, getting a skeet onto Amer's Hunter. Or Mila's Hunter, I mean. And they're going to be able to progress and get this event started. Hopefully they won't pause and have another conversation here. This is where they had the 9-minute pause.
Yeah, God forbid. But it is, you know, the Colossus is not out of it. Not Driss. Forgot who it was on the other team. But someone took a lot of damage from Colossus's first hit as well. So, I mean, they're still right in it. I mean, the only one who is hurt is Nat at the moment. Everyone else is fine.
And it's actually going to be a quad try. So Babylonia is going to try to end this in fashion, saying, we don't want to play this finale. We don't need our tank. We're just going to kill you right now. Is that what they're going to say? Or is the Survivor team going to further their opportunity to win? Jockey is now pre-spawned up ahead. Looks like the Smoker wants to spawn with him. The other 2 spawns going to come from the back. And they're out. Oh, and the Charger tries to B-hop. Smoker pulls, lands. Hunter lands. Oh, no, it's not going to land. But the damage at Amethyst is huge.
Yeah, I saw it, MK, with future vision. It looked like it might actually land. I saw Nick getting smoked, and all of the survivors were piled up in the corner. If one special infected lands in a certain way that stumbles the other 2, this game is over. Luckily, they avoided that tragedy, and we move on.
800 bonus, ticking down. 424, what they need to win. Tank about to be up. Spawn's going. Hunter pouncing around. Triple booms land. Hunter does get skeeted eventually. And now the Charger and Spitter looks like they're going to try to find something in the back.
Sounded like you were about to start rapping an Eminem song there for a second.
You get one shot. And this is their shot.
And this is it. No, do not miss your chance to blow, indeed, MK.
I think they get one more hit. It's a quad try, Amethyst.
Yeah, you're right. Jockey from the back. Charger from, not the back, from up top. Hunter's going to go in. It is going to land. Jockey's going to try to go for the guy who got hunted. That quad didn't do anything. But, doesn't matter. Tank's coming up next, and it's going to be in the hands of Driss.
This is the final tank of the game. Coach is not moving. Okay, I thought we had a crash there, but Coach is now good. Survivors look like they want to stay up here, maybe. They want to play this aggressive Amethyst because they don't want to have to run map.
Well, let's see if this boomer gets a boom, because Colossus was not able to get a boom for their tank, and that might have been a game changer. See what they do with it. Oh, tank's gonna go in. He's gonna go in with the boom.
Oh, this is interesting.
No, and the boomer's stuck now on top, but they're afraid of it. They know where he is, but right that hole in the bad position. That's not an insta-down car, but he is going to go ahead and get this corner on Mira. It is going to be a 1 boom onto Nick. The jockey is going to be hopping around and on top of the car somehow, chasing the car even further. The Smoker is just going to barely miss. Did that car? I don't know if that car hit anyone. What is going on? The Smoker is going to die. He just barely missed Nat with that tongue. Coach goes down on top. MK, is that it?
That is it.
That's got to be it.
Yep, that should be. I think that's going to be mathematically it now. As he's trying to pick up for whatever reason.
Literally be it, and it absolutely is. MK, that's going to be a wipe. Not exactly the cleanest one I've ever seen, but at the end of the day, who cares? Babylonia are your victors.
That will be Babylonia winning the Oscurity Cup 6,068 to 5,467 from Colossus.